episode of Limit Break Radio is made possible by our generous Patreon donors, including Crimson Tinted of Belmong, Cookie Nurse of Ultros, Mesmerized Monk of Excalibur. Thank you so much for your support. If you want to support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/Limit Break Radio and buy TA's Fine Wine. Do you want to rock and roll all night and party every day? Then I must recommend our newest wine, the Shooting Star. Created from only the freshest rolling berries, a silky, smooth drink is like riding the wind. If you need something to believe in, TA's Fine Wine is nothing but a good time. If you tell yourself, I want action every night, pop open a bottle with your favorite appropriately gendered friend. They'll say, talk dirty to me in no time at all. Sure, you may look like something the cat dragged in, but life goes on. Remember, without our delectable drinks, your mama don't dance. So go ahead and take a chance. TA's Fine Wine, because every rose has its thorn.
Live from Eorzea.
Limit Break with your hosts, Unhero.
Now behold the horror you have wrought.
Kahlo.
I said don't take your clothes off.
Juxta Position.
I don't get it.
Ascalia.
Holy shit, totally forgot about him.
And Mika.
Oh my god.
LimitBreakRadio.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Limit Break Radio, episode 104.
Sure to not be a bore.
You didn't have to rhyme it. Things don't have to rhyme, you know that, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're already sublime.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. Twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio is where you're finding us right now. Want to thank you guys for joining us today. We've got a show. I don't know what kind of show it's going to be.
I didn't do the outline, so I don't know what it's about.
I don't know.
We have outlines? Since when?
When do we do? Do we play this game anymore? I can't decide if that's a thing that we do or not.
It better be. I better not play this for nothing this week.
Oh, did you actually play this week?
I did.
Aww.
What'd you do?
I did Rating and Datum.
How's rating going?
Fine. I played too. You know what I did?
What did you do?
I walked to the studio and died.
Why did you die?
He's getting his $7. He's getting his $7.
I've been dead since last week.
I hate you so much.
You just shoved me off the table, which is rude. Now he's under the table dead.
Good. Oh, really? That's where you are? I didn't even see that part of it.
The fat chocobo looks like it's getting ready to snack on his still warm corpse.
Oh, good.
How am I still warm after a week?
Because we keep the temperature up. The heat's
Well,
always on.
Fat bird's about to get the worm.
You also have a lot of body fat. I think that the heat takes longer to dissipate.
No. In Final Fantasy 14 land, I am a very ripped Mikote. He's got a swimmer's body going on.
I don't think he's ripped. I think that's like he like spray tanned himself to just look like he has those muscles.
He's like, I'm a
point is,
trim
I'm not
cat boy. I'm a trim cat boy in my head. I pay $12.
I'm popular in the game.
I like how just defensively he snaps, but I'm not fat, am I? No, I'm not fat.
Only in one possible sense of the word.
That's only all I need. It's okay, Juxta. I agree with you, and I'm a pretty girl.
Anyway, welcome to the show.
Is that sarcasm?
I don't think it was sarcasm. I think that was just called being self-deprecating. Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for joining us live here at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. If you joined us earlier for Final Encountercast, you know that there were some technical issues.
What? No.
We're hoping that that's not going to end up happening again, but Comcast being Comcast, we can't promise that. So
yeah, the doy.
Maybe we need to stop insulting them on the show. They seem to be taking it personally.
well, maybe if they could get their shit together, I would stop insulting them on our show.
No,
if we
you
could,
wouldn't.
if we could do more than 5 shows in a row without having some kind of interruption.
We love you as much as you love us. Meterman asked me to say boobs.
That $80 from Comcast cares. I don't believe that's who you are.
Comcast cares.
I don't believe that's who you are. Juxta, look, I think every week I end up yelling at you about the donation voice.
Yes.
And I'm going to yell at you again.
Why?
Because it's too hard to hear. It's not loud enough.
It's not loud enough?
Yeah. We need...
Oops. Wrong button.
Wow.
I was trying to
This
find
is
the
a
volume.
test donation for dollar. This is a test donation for dollar.
For $1.
For doll. Oh, wow.
$1.
Wow.
You are such a fuck up.
It's already at max.
No, okay. That took all the pressure off me. I feel like I had fucked up the last show. He's the first one to have done it. The show.
You didn't fuck up the last show, though.
Well, no, but I had to excuse myself and go take out my rage on a Comcast employee.
Was his name Bill?
No.
I assume all Comcast employees named Bill.
No, I'll tell you who his name was. It was Sam.
Sam?
I know because I said it at least 7 or 8 times, because when I'm really mad at someone and they're in customer service, I say their name over and over and over again so that they know that I know their name. I swear to God, that's a very real thing that I do. I was not. Maybe I'm just mad at myself for how badly I went off on this guy.
I'm curious though. You drilling into their head that you know their name. What purpose does that serve?
That's very intimidating and creepy.
Like,
well, no.
If you did some other name, then at the end they may be like, "You didn't even get my name right."
No, because what I'm saying, what I'm trying to reinforce is, I'm going to talk to whoever your boss is at the end of this conversation, and there's one of two things that I'm going to say to your boss, and that is, your employee either helped me and I appreciated his help in order to get to you, or I can't believe that this piece of shit works for you and they need to be fired immediately.
Sam.
I don't pay you to think.
Now, to be fair to Sam, the connection issues haven't been a problem since. So in all fairness to Sam, he may have done what I needed him to do. So if that's the case, good on you, Sam.
I like to think that at Comcast they just have a little lever with your name next to it, and you yell at him enough so he pushes the lever back up to restore your internet.
I swear to God,
Who pushes the lever down to begin with?
I swear to
Gravity.
God, I swear to God, that's exactly what happens, because it's not until I call and yell at someone that things actually end up smoothing themselves out. Then the proof is in the pudding. You're getting the show right now. You got the rest of the final encounter cast.
Maybe don't mention food around that.
Oh, sorry.
Wow, funny. Maybe instead of waiting during the show, you just call up Comcast and yell at them before the show happens, so that way we can just alleviate all problems.
If I knew that I needed to preemptively call
clearly
Comcast,
you do.
Well, maybe I do.
That's what I just said. You do. Maybe. We're gonna get here next week at noon and just hear Nate going off on someone in the back room. Just be like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, that's exactly what you heard when the friggin' internet was out, because that's what I did. Anyway.
You're not wrong.
I'm still trying to emotionally distance myself from it because it's that frustrating. We've had production problems today, guys. Hopefully we won't have any more. Let's check out what's going on in the news.
This is a Limit Breaking News Update.
So remember that the gear design contest that we talked about?
Oh, yeah.
We've got some entries to look at.
Oh, really?
There's so many.
And they are awful.
Whoa. Not all of them.
Oh, no, maybe not all of them.
But
Wait, what the hell?
There's more awful ones than there are not awful ones.
I guess that's probably fair.
And as I'm going through, because I wanted to go through and find all the cool ones, but I got, maybe only a third of the way through the range magic DPS stuff. And I'm like, these are so bad that I can't even get through the rest of them to find the good ones.
Wait, they picked 104 of these? Oh, these are finalists. Okay.
Yeah.
These are the ones that are actually going to go to get judged by like the dev team and stuff.
A couple of that I want to point out. This should never, ever be anywhere close to a Final Fantasy game.
An anime moon girl, like, onesie type thing.
That's Beyonce.
What?
What?
Did you not watch the fucking Super Bowl?
No.
Forget it. No.
What?
Oh, you're looking at that blue-purple thing?
Yeah.
Oh, Kalu said fucking moon goddess thing. That's what I was looking at.
This is fucking horrible.
It reminds me of something like a Sailor Moon fan might wear.
It literally hurts me.
I have no idea who that's for. Who's supposed to be pleased when they look at that?
So this, I think, is the one that you were trying to say is Beyonce. Yeah, I see that.
That was designed after the clickers.
No, but I see the reference now. I see what you're talking about.
To be fair, though, Beyonce definitely copied Final Fantasy bosses. So
I saw that meme this week, too. Yeah.
Whoa, what about these carbuncle suits?
Nope.
Okay, the literal fursuit is retarded.
Well, how is that a fucking finalist?
It is a fursuit. That's exactly what the fuck it is.
As a proponent of the reindeer costume, this is fucking trash, okay? You could have so many different other kind of mascot-y type outfits, but you choose fucking carbuncle of all things? Get the fuck out.
Wow.
Get the fuck out.
You are mad about this.
Yeah, I am. Reindeer costume, good.
Okay, do you have...
Pig costume, good.
All right,
carbuncle, fuck off.
Last show, I had a little glamour rant, okay? What's your reasons? Like, why is carbuncle not acceptable compared to anything
Because it's fucking obvious as shit, okay? Did you expect the pig costume? No, you didn't, but it has Final Fantasy reference in it. Good.
Moogle?
Final Fantasy Tactics, good.
Moogle?
Moogle?
There's a Moogle costume.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's a Chocobo costume.
That's fine.
There's a goblin hat.
Why do you draw the line at carbuncle?
Not carbuncle. Yes, why are you drawing the line at carbuncle?
Because summoners.
My problem with it is that it's a fucking furry suit, and that's not necessary at all. On any
level. We
level.
gotta appease Ascali, okay?
What?
Are you a furry?
No. For all the fandoms that I will cop, so I'm not going to that one.
I do want to talk about this, because this seems like something out of either Sword Art Online, or like this is equally as weeby and terrible, but in its own unique set of ways.
And boring at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing I've seen on here.
Yeah. Dot hack. There we go. Zero Hossie is dot hack. I could see.
Okay, yeah,
I can see that.
That's definitely dot hacking.
I can definitely see that for sure. What else we got here? There's another like carbuncle themed one.
See that one's okay.
Get out of here,
that
summoners.
It's like that one's a little bit better because it's
Nobody
not
wants
just
to
a
dress
fursuit.
up as carbuncles.
No.
You know what I hate are the ones that look like they're already in the fucking game.
All right, Can we talk about some pretty okay ones? This one's all right.
What's it look
Look,
like?
it's
one
well
actually.
designed.
This one looks like something. It looks very much Ot Ergon influenced from 11.
Yeah, like this looks like something. But my problem with it is that it looks like something that might already be in the game.
Yeah.
So it fits in the game.
Yeah, that's why I think
That's
it
why
works.
it's fine.
Like
you
if
want
you
something that doesn't look like it's in the game?
let me tell you
There's
something.
a difference between something that fits in the game and something that I feel like is outside of the
I don't know,
aesthetic
dude.
that we've seen.
That seems like it comes right out of like something like Rad's at Hand. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, the couple of characters that we know that are from that geographic region definitely have this kind of vibe going on, man.
Here's my thing. If you're going to design, like as a fan, design an armor set, if I were to design an armor set, I would want it to jump out. Like when someone sees it, like, oh, that's the thing that dude designed. This looks like if you were to line it up next to a bunch of the other armor, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but line up next to any other armor in the game, you wouldn't be able to pick out which one was fan designed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense, but I still like this. I still like it a lot.
It's definitely a hell of a lot better than fucking Carbuncle.
I like that you wouldn't be able to pick it out as being the fan designed one. I think that's really good. Like this person's not able to emulate the Square-Enix style enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Now
Runs together well.
This is kind of interesting because this is basically taking warrior gear and giving it to a mage.
Which is stupid.
It is kind of dumb, but at the same time, like, it stands out to me. Like, this definitely stood out to me as, like, I didn't hate this one. I didn't totally hate it.
It makes you look like a warrior.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Because
Except we're all casters here.
Excuse me, can we please try to not like do some job appropriation here? Like we need to cut down on that. I want my casters to look like casters.
this I'm just okay with in general.
All right, what does that
Is it
look?
supposed
What
to be
does
a
that look like?
succubus?
Look, this is something that you have to ask yourself when designing a piece of gear. How will this look on Juxta?
No.
Because he's gonna wear it.
Can I tell you why I'm okay with this? Because here, the joke that this artist had inserted here, right? Okay, we've got the exposed stomach for tummy rubs. You're welcome, Balmung JK. Actually, is on the entry.
That's funny as heck.
Square Enix put this up on their
fair.
website.
That's fair.
Okay, like first of all, like it's okay. Like it's okay gear. Like I'm all right with it. But that little joke, that little in joke in there, the fact that they put that out there, like they had the balls to put that on their entry, and Square Enix is like, yeah, fair enough.
I salute you, Matt Gunn.
I'm all.
You know who put that?
That's fantastic.
You know who put that through?
Matt Gunn.
No, like the person was like, yeah, that's fine to put on the website.
Koji.
Oh, Koji.
Koji.
Absolutely, Koji.
Koji.
Definitely
100%.
Koji.
All right, here's another one that I didn't hate. This one is very black magey, but I think that it uses a very different color, like a color
I
palette.
don't like the fur around the neck though.
I think like this one. It's like a black mage who wants to be an astrologian.
Yeah.
That's what I think when I see this.
I kind of get some blue magey vibes from it.
I do too. Yeah.
Really?
Not the hat.
Yeah.
No, the feather in the hat.
Fuck out of here.
The robe for sure.
Robe I can see. Not
Blue
the hat.
magey for sure. Yeah.
The hat is off.
I didn't hate that one. I did not hate
It's
that.
not the worst, yeah.
No. What is this?
It's just a fucking robe with a face mask.
I mean, the face mask. I'm not gonna lie. The face mask
It's
with
cool, sure.
I'm sorry. The blood tears. Did you notice that they're like streaks of blood tears?
Yes,
so it looks like it's
Mr. Dark
driven.
Knight.
It looks like it's driven into the face. I'm okay with
very
that.
metal.
It's pretty cool. It says even rough metal texture right there.
Oh, good. Because I wasn't sure. I thought it was gonna be like smooth. And
Great. Now I'm gonna get punched in the face and lose my eyesight.
Well, it's
Awesome.
already gone, obviously.
It's already gone. What are you talking about? What else we got here? This one's not terrible.
I like the concept.
I like the Red Riding Hood one.
What?
The pants are pretty cool. Like having, I mean, like the two colors clashing and sort of like melding in between each other are pretty cool. I'm into it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, come
I
on.
like it.
I dig it. I'm
Then
into
again-
it.
Fire and ice, but
Then again, I was probably the only person who liked the torrent gear. Everyone's like, oh, there's too much going on. Well, sorry, it isn't all just one monochromatic color.
No,
What the fuck?
No.
this reminds me of...
No. All of it. No. Just no.
Like, you're designing caster
No.
gear, not
No.
just shit to lounge around in.
No.
That means that you would be okay seeing someone wear this. You would be okay with this dropping from, like, a raid. Get the fuck out.
The fucking ADS headphones.
Yeah, Beats by ADS, man. Come on.
Juxta, was this your entry?
I actually want to go into
can't draw
your
that good.
kitchen and find a knife and come back in here and stab him with it.
I'll help you cover up the body. We'll get it out of here. We will never say a thing about it.
Yeah, good luck, because the body is so big. Fat.
No, we just throw it into the river. I mean, it caused quite a splash, but...
Oh. No, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. What is that on the hand there?
Sharpie.
Exactly.
That was an attempt.
You tried. No,
Actually,
but-
you know, I think that's the male version. I think the male version, your head is just replaced with a hand.
What is it? I think you're right. I think it's supposed to be like some sort of hand tattoo.
Yeah, Sharpie.
Like what? Yeah. Like is this like the new version of Final Fantasy 14 being straight edge? Like this is how you mark your hand with an X with a Sharpie? What the fuck is wrong with you people?
God, I forgot about
Oh
that.
my god. That is just cringeworthy.
What's that one down and across from it?
This one right
Yeah.
here? Yeah. Okay, we'll take a look. That's not bad.
What is the male equivalent of this?
Same thing.
Don't want
Same exact thing, butt cheeks on swole, even with the guys. Yeah.
It makes me think of mime, but in like a gestury, jinxy sort of way.
I don't know. I feel like the horns are starting to become very overused.
Yeah, I mean,
You might be able to make a pretty decent Rita Repulsa cosplay out of it.
that'd be awesome. Wait, there's no pointy boobs out there, though.
Well, you'd have to find another
Not
piece
yet.
for the chest. This one looked kind of cool. I kind of dig that. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure what's going on with the face exactly, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a visor here or something that comes down. I'm not 100%
The
sure.
Ravencaster robe.
Yeah. Now that you read that out loud, I'm a little
just bad.
a little over it. This isn't terrible.
Very,
I like the
kinda
hood.
Asian inspired, I feel.
Yeah. I like the hood though. I'm not a terribly big fan of the optional hat with the asterisk over there on the side. But I
That's
do.
the visor icon.
I like the hood kind of a lot, actually.
The hood is way better than that hat.
Oh, definitely. And it's also, I feel like I've seen these pieces before on maybe some Crystal Tower gear, older Crystal Tower gear.
Yeah.
But I quite like this, actually.
Again, this
is one of the stronger.
This feels like a piece where they really got, like, they know what the style of FF14 is.
Absolutely.
This feels like it could easily be gear there.
Absolutely. And I like that. I think I tend to like those pieces more than Beats by ADS. What the fuck? I'm still mad about
It's
that.
pronounced ads, beats by ads.
I'm just trying to quickly go through some more
Is
of
that
these.
the Red Riding Hood one he was talking about?
No, it was way
that was further up.
Okay.
Okay, so that's kind of the
ranged
what's
casters.
this? Robe of Death.
Get the fuck out
Robe
of here.
of Death.
That just, you know what it
That's a
reminds.
Halloween costume.
You know what it reminds me of?
Oh my God.
No, it's not. No, it reminds me of like Bone Gear from like other RPGs that I've played. Yeah, that's what
that
what
what
it
you
reminds.
wore
It's
as the
not
Moonblade
terrible. It's
Defense
not
Force?
terrible. I wouldn't. Yes, if you must know. Anyway, so here's healer designs. Oh boy.
God damn it.
I'm glad I'm not a healer.
Oh boy. Do you notice the underwear that are associated with this?
What? I didn't.
They're
That's pretty common on a lot of these, by the way, that they have the underwear that goes with it.
they're granny panties.
Because we need our healers to be pure, okay?
Like, geez, yeah, they're like boxer shorts. The hell?
This is fucking awful.
I feel like people who draw these too, who make these, they don't think these have to go on male characters as well.
No, they don't.
Again, you ask yourself, would Juxta look good in this? Because that's what you have to. That's what's going to happen. I like this.
This is
No.
good.
I like
I
this
actually
one.
don't mind this one. This is not bad. This actually feels like what was that? There was another MMO that Square Enix was helping to publish for a while. Wakfu.
Wakfu?
It feels like something out of Wakfu. That's it. Thank you. That's it.
Wow, what a blast from the past that is.
Yeah.
Wakfu.
Wakfu.
Is that in any way related to Shaq Fu?
Shut the fuck up.
No.
You're right. It's worse.
This looks like something out of Assassin's Creed. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
As a heel, I don't like it.
It's fine.
Healers can't have good things.
Here's the thing, though. I do like the utility belt. Like, I actually really like that concept.
I think it's too boring except for the hood.
I think the
I do
jeans are
like
weird.
I do like the hood.
The hood is
the
good.
je-
I
jeans are a little
hate
weird.
when you have like the hood or the upper body seems, bulky or flowy, and then from like the rib cage down seems like slimmer and minimalist. It makes them seem real top heavy and
They just topple over.
It's weird.
Imbalanced, yeah.
I don't know. There's aspects of it that I like and aspects that I don't.
I think
That's
I like
fair.
the one right beneath that
Especially
one.
the ass pecs.
Does anyone have anything to say about this one?
Is this Tron?
That's exactly what that fucking looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they reimagined Ironworks gear to be straight out of Tron.
I hate this. I
Okay.
can't tell you how much I hate this.
This would be good if we could dye the blue glowy parts and have them glow as different colors.
It's not goddamn Metroid, Juxta. This is not. What the fuck?
What about this even says healer?
Yeah, I think that's my biggest. Like, I didn't mind the Ironworks gear, and that had a glow similar to this.
What
but,
about
like,
it says Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
This is Phantasy Star Online. Get the fuck out of here.
We find this in the technology place. Fuck, what is it called? Allegan areas.
Get out.
Come on.
This isn't bad. This actually,
I like
here,
this one.
Here we actually see, all of the different variations that they're thinking. Again, you get hood up with the cat ears. I'm not sure.
This actually kind of hits me as a very Breath of the Wild.
I don't know that I.
Well,
I could see that.
I think it's got the cat ears because he's the character's in Mikote.
Oh,
right
yeah.
beneath it shows that the hero one doesn't
that
have
makes
those.
sense. Okay, all right.
I could actually get behind this. This is pretty cool.
It's not bad.
And
It's not bad.
just the callback to traditional white mage colors. And,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I like this.
I'd actually,
I dig it. I dig it.
well.
That's not
I'd
bad.
actually be jealous of this gear. Like looking at the blue and green version right there, like that actually looked pretty cool in a ninja too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of into this one. I'm not complaining.
Don't worry, this one won't win at all.
Oh, afterwards, we're totally gonna tell you which ones are gonna end up winning this.
Yeah, right. This entry looks like something out of like what's that one anime, Nadia? Is that it?
I couldn't tell you.
Sure, Weeb, tell us more about it.
I feel like those could be Dragon Quest NPCs.
Yeah, something like that. I forgot Nika's not here, so she can't step in and help me.
What is this? Battle Maid? That looks like. It looks like someone from a maid cafe has to go all magical girl.
We already have maid costume, okay? We don't need any more.
Sailor Lalafell.
Get out of here. Go away.
Just stop.
The hat is awful.
That is a shame.
I don't even know.
Like, I don't want to sound like just like blatantly racist against Lalafell, but I'd like to see what this looks like on someone of normal size.
What are you trying to say, man?
I'm trying to say I'm not
you
sure.
heightist?
I'm not sure Lalafell are the best models ever. Except for maybe that Carbuncle
cool for
suit.
like a combat caster.
You know what? I'm actually kind of into this. I'm actually kind of into this one. This is not bad at all.
Yeah, I like the arm.
I do. I like the one metal arm.
Very Metal Gear Solid.
You get a back tattoo?
Is that? Yeah, that is kind of what that looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Metal Gear.
I'm into it. The pants, maybe not so much.
Oh God!
Maybe not so much the pants.
Yeah, they'll be covered by the robe
Can we
anyway.
please have a bigger bulge? Because that's clearly not.
They're literally crotchless, man. I mean, like you're wearing.
Yeah, okay,
you're
I'm into
wearing.
it now.
You're
All
wearing.
right.
You're wearing Shawn Michaels chaps around a banana hammock. Like, please don't.
Oh, God.
Can we get a slight modification on maybe those pants?
We're gonna
Clear
have to
winner.
see Juxta wear that. He will get the.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I didn't see the boots. The boots straight up have heels on them.
Oh.
Pass.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
Pass.
want these. Never mind.
Okay, David Bowie.
I want these.
God damn it. No. What is
Yes.
this? What is this? I'm almost afraid to click this one. I'm not a fan. I'm
Is
not a
that
fan.
Borderlands?
It does. I don't know what. I don't.
Darkwood Druids.
It's on a Rogadin. Okay,
This looks WoW-esque
that made me.
to
I, was
me.
gonna say, I think you
Warcraft.
meant to send this to Blizzard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my World
for
of
a
Warcraft
second.
senses are tingling here.
Yeah, for a second
no,
there.
No, where's the pauldrons, okay? There's no pauldrons. There's not like a giant freaking thing weighing down your shoulder.
Yeah, but
It's
look
not.
at this third one over to the right. That's just a Tauren model that he reskinned, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it does. I mean, from definitely at first glance, that's what it looks like. But that's definitely a Rogadin. Let's see what else. What else we got here?
It's like green one.
Okay.
That's just a fucking samurai. Get out of here.
Can we have a conversation?
No.
That is not healer gear.
FF14 community, can we have a conversation about why this is a completely unnecessary submission? You don't think that this is a little
It has
just
a Moogle, though.
You don't think that it's just the slightest bit redundant with samurai
Here's the
coming
problem.
as a job?
Somebody still wants to be a healer, but they want that Sam aesthetic.
It's because of the hat. That's clearly a healer hat.
That's Raiden's hat from Mortal Kombat.
Exactly.
This is a
He
God
was-
of Thunder.
He was a healer. And
Yeah,
the robes,
that's what he was.
Robes are also healer. So this is clearly healer gear. That makes sense. And he's got a staff.
No, this is a Raiden cosplay.
And he was a healer.
He was not.
He was a lightning dude.
It's unnecessary.
Lightning heals.
He ran around covering his balls.
Hold on. You don't wait. We're actually going to Doma. We're gonna have dungeons associated with Authored. You think that there's not gonna be some kind of healer set that is way more Eastern themed throughout the expansion somewhere?
No.
Why would you waste your time putting pen to paper, making this a submission for a contest for gear design when it's almost a foregone conclusion that you're going to be getting it at some point in Stormblood.
Because
To
now
be fair,
he
it was
will
probably
win.
a felt marker.
Because now it'll win. They're like,
it was a pen.
Square-Enix like, oh yeah.
So we already have
We
that
have
design.
that one.
We've already
Yeah.
got this one
You
drawn.
win.
Exactly, because they already had it made.
Yeah, you stupid idiot. He won. That's how you win the contest, moron.
Here's a Moogle-themed one.
That's straight out. That's like straight out of FF Tactics, I feel.
Oh,
Moogle
no.
Mage.
I like the face.
Oh, no. It's a little smile. What's up?
I'm happy.
It's a ditto.
It is.
It does. Wow.
Get out of here, Ditto.
That's funny. Here's another one with more back tattoos.
Dead ass.
That is actually, first of all, this character has way more stacked an ass than any of the characters that we currently have the ability to create.
This is a 1.0 character.
I see.
This is what the gear they introduced along with the butt sliders.
So let me tell you.
I like it though.
I actually do like it. It to me seems very much like Bravely Default-ish.
The only thing I feel like it's missing is they need a cape.
You know, but
Then that covers the butt.
not just the butt, which is a very good point, Juxta, but I think what they're doing with the back there
What
between the
about-
two different designs, I actually
How
think that
about
that's
this?
better than a cape.
How about this? What if on
Leg
one,
capes.
No. You know how some. You're a fucking moron. You fucking stupid piece of shit. What the fuck is
Leg capes.
Come on.
no? Why? What the Stop.
Leg cape. Leg. Hang on.
Stop.
Shit, yeah!
You know who else wears leg capes? Cucksuck'em.
Oh my god. Juxta just killed the show. It's done. It's over.
Goodbye, everybody.
What the leg? Fucking leg capes. What can you tell Juxta? Can you tell me what are leg capes? I have something very specific in my head that makes me keep laughing, but I need to know from you what you think leg capes are.
Okay, well, you see in this picture where the butt starts.
Yeah.
That's where like a little cape coming around like about 100 and 180 degrees would come down covering the you know.
So
the
it's like
tendon.
it's like a half skirt that starts at your thighs.
Yeah, so you can still see the butt. That's the important part, is the butt and the back.
What is this attached to exactly?
What do you mean? It attaches to your thigh.
So your
It's kinda
thighs
like
are gonna hold it up?
mud
Flaps. Oh my god!
All right, so you know
Holy
how
shit.
knights sometimes have like that half cape thing that just comes off their shoulder to like hide their like sword arm and
Are
stuff.
you actually trying to bring this back to a
Yes,
real point?
because
oh my
I
God.
had a real point until this dick came up with the worst fucking creation ever invented in fucking leg capes.
capes.
I would rather them have leg warmers than a fucking leg cape. What the fuck, you idiot?
I was thinking, honestly, from the knee down. That's what I was, not even from the butt down. From the knee down, leg capes. Only
see, that's a-
on the back of the leg.
That's
yeah.
I don't know
see,
why.
That's a calf cape. That's a calf
Yeah,
cape.
it needs to be higher up for the leg.
The whole leg.
but not the butt.
Of course not
Butts
the butt.
must be intact.
I just can't picture anything other than our characters like walking around like with their jeans around their ankles, trying to like shimmy along. That's the image this puts in my head.
No, Orbo, not a dress, because a leg cape needs two distinct pieces of
Yes.
fabric for each leg.
I would like to point out that they do have a face cape on this, though. Did you notice that?
I did notice that, which is really, really handy for when you're
Walking
hide your
around
face.
with your leg capes and people are making fun of you.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Fucking idiot.
Leg capes. Ballin'. I really hope that one of these pieces of armor has leg capes on it, and we just click on it.
We just have to just eat shit.
Yeah.
It'll be the best thing ever.
Let me just say, this was a lot of effort that was put into this.
Oh my
one.
God!
Holy cow!
That's very.
Can you say?
Wow.
Over.
They did a good job drawing this.
yeah.
Over
hell.
stylized.
I think the gear is awful, but it's well drawn. I mean,
I'd
Is
wear
it?
it.
I like the male
You would,
version.
really?
I'd wear this.
It looks very evilous like.
okay, yeah, I can give you that. It is evilous-ish is a good description for that.
Oh my God! The first one down underneath this. How is this on here?
Healer.
What is this?
What? The body's a crepe, apparently.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, it's breakfast healer.
The legs are fruits.
Jesus Christ.
Strawberries
The hands are mochi.
and blueberries.
Taiyaki feet.
How is this?
What the fuck is up with the head?
It's got a dango
That's
on
a
it.
dango.
It's got a dodongo.
Okay, this was obviously done
Dango.
this is obviously done by a child, and they just did this to appease the child. Like, oh look, you're a finalist.
Yeah, except it wasn't done by a child. This
Be
is done by
nice.
an adult.
You don't know that.
This is my entry.
I actually was going to just ask if this was yours.
Yeah, duh.
Did I just blow your mind?
So, what's a dango?
What do you mean a dango?
What is a dango? It says head dango.
It's an ice cream on a stick.
That's
It's
what
a
it.
popsicle.
That's what a dango
Well,
is.
no, it's ice cream for starters. A popsicle is like ice.
No.
This is just 3 balls of ice cream stuck together with a
Who
stick.
calls it a dango exactly?
Do you not?
No. I've never
Where
heard
does
that
that
word
word come
before in
from?
my life.
Dangos eat babies in Australia. That is not one of those.
That's a dingo for starters.
That says dango.
I know. This is a dango.
Dango ate my baby.
Stop being racist.
No,
That was
I
racist
need
to dingoes.
no. I need an explanation as to what the fuck a dango is.
I'm
I just told you.
Googling it because I don't know that that's a real thing.
It's a strawberry. It's like Neapolitan, except it has strawberry, vanilla, and lime.
How quickly would you have to eat that so it didn't melt off the stick?
You know, not all the bugs are worked out. Just eat it quickly and you'll be fine.
So this is like a creation of yours.
yes. How is
Okay.
it not?
All right. First of all, that question was a that was a false flag question. That was to weed out all of the weebs in the chat room. Please, anyone who actually answered seriously what a dango is, time them out and
It's not ice cream.
no.
No. It's apparently a dumpling.
A Japanese dumpling and sweet
Okay.
made from mochi.
That would
All right,
stay on
make
the
sure-
stick then. I get that.
Make sure that whoever told you that you time them out because this is a weeb hunt.
All right, so anyone who knows that it's a Japanese dumpling gets booted.
That's right.
All right,
timed
boom,
out.
you die. Let's see.
Okay.
Die.
Because when you get timed out from LBR, that's the end of your life.
Yeah,
Your
cuckoo
computer
dies.
explodes.
Let's see.
What a fucking entry. I can't
Oh
believe
my God, Sir Baltazar, you get timed out bad. Okay.
Anyone else?
Anyone? I
I'm sure that there are more.
think we got them all.
God, I really don't like a lot of these.
Okay, well, hold
designs.
on. Citrafur gave us a correct pronunciation. Is that a bannon?
So
Yep.
weeb.
Oh
Absolutely,
yeah,
yeah.
that's just as bad.
Wait, is it not pronounced dango? Were we
It's
pronouncing it wrong?
Daango.
Dongo, yeah.
Okay, this is the last one that we'll spend any time with, and we'll move on because
Which one is it?
this to me says I am a Lords of Arminian master. That's what this.
That is absolutely what this is.
Oh my God!
That's
Look at
wonderful.
the socks. Those are carbuncle leggings.
Those
Yes,
are
they
awesome.
are. Yes, they are. That's
Wait!
exactly it. That's it.
That's
Those-
awesome,
those
but
are
the
great.
fucking fursuit isn't.
Yeah. It's
need-
got a fat cat hat.
Hang on.
Fat cat hat.
Did no one actually notice the Goobu fanny pack? Because that's
How would you miss it?
that's a very real thing that's going on
Whoa,
right
whoa,
there.
whoa! That's on the front. That's not a fanny pack. That's
It's a Peenie pack.
What is it for women? Is it a pussy pack?
A veggie pack.
Kahlo is literally on the ground from that
He's
one.
done. Kahlo is checked out. There's no coming back for him.
What is this?
This good shit.
No, it is not. Square-Enix, can you do me a personal favor and ban whoever's account this is?
I want that fanny pack though.
What is that a part of the pants?
Oh, is this? And that is
I
that?
think it's a part of the pants.
Is that a fat chocobo scarf?
Yeah,
sure
that is
is.
exactly what that is.
Look, you've got
And
like
it's got a hood on it. It's not just a scarf, it's a scarf with a hood on it.
Oh.
Juxta, how much?
And there's a tail on the goddamn pants.
No, that's just
Oh, no, that's,
No,
or is that
that's a
just because of the
that's a
hoodie?
Mikote.
Juxta, how much would you pay in the cash shop for the
15
fat
bucks.
cat hat?
$15.
Oh my, what? You'd pay $15 for the fat cat hat.
Yeah, in the Peenie pack? Hell yeah.
Okay, so I have some of the Peenie pack too.
Look, like the Kikra and the Moogle are hugging you all the time.
If they sold this like individually, these as accessories, like you could buy the the carbuncle socks, $5. What?
No. Okay.
What are the shoes?
Each piece $20. $100 for the whole set. I would buy this in a fucking heartbeat. Cause you know why? You know the fuck why? Cause nobody else would. Digital exclusivity, bitch.
You would pay
I would
$100.
totally pay $100 for this,
Do not.
especially if you could dye it.
Essie's gonna hear that and make this now.
The fact that you put that out there, the fact that you put that sentiment out there, if this happens,
Oh my gosh!
I know who I'm blaming.
The shoes are Quirrell and the dog. The quest that you have to
Yeah,
do
the
because they
pupper.
fight each other. Oh, what? This is actually brilliant.
Contact PETA. They'll get a kick out of this.
Anyway, here's what you can win: the all of this shit. There
Some
you
stupid
go.
shit.
If you want
A
more,
stupid galley cap hat. What the fuck? That's so dumb.
if you want more information, you can find it
Why
at
would
the
Literally the
Lodestone.
fat cat hat.
No, it's
Just
not.
with
It's a
different
fucking
colors.
galley hat cap.
Yeah, and apparently the tail wiggles.
That's retarded. Get that shit out of here.
You have a weird like standard for what is good and bad.
You
No,
really,
it's hard to
really do.
understand.
Fucking obvious, okay?
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Why is that dumb but the fat cat hat's great?
Did you look at it? Are
Admittedly,
you
no.
fucking blind? Look at it. That's stupid. That doesn't even look like a thing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think it's just best not to argue with it at this point.
Fair.
Anyway, all right. So yeah, if you want more info on that,
Go
Lodestone.
the fuck away.
So you doing okay over there?
You died?
No.
Thought I was
Any
the
more?
sick one today.
Can you cough?
I'm pretty sure that all of these designs gave me actual cancer.
That's okay.
Terminal. I am terminal now.
I think it's AIDS.
Okay. Those things just destroyed my immune system.
All right, so let's talk about a couple of the PAX East interviews that have come out since the Q&A panel, including this one from Twinfinite.net. We've had actually a few interviews that we've had piled up here, so we're going to try to get to as many of them as possible.
So we'll probably get through about 0.3.
We'll see.
Can we make up a name like this is clearly a made up name by some other company, and make a website for it, and then try and get an SC with an interview with SC, just so they accidentally give us LBR an interview.
Oh, so create a dummy,
A dummy
company.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's not a bad idea.
I say we call ourselves Pet Food Alpha.
Emphasis on dummy.
Yeah, a dummy company.
Maybe we could call ourselves Checkpoint Radio.
They
It's diabolical, and I love it.
They sound good though.
Anyway, so who is Twinfinite.net? This is like not even a site
This is
that
made up, dude. I have no idea who this is. I'd never heard of them before this moment.
Like, how is Twinfinite.net getting an interview and Limit Break Radio? They're just like, nah, bro.
Money.
I mean, it may
To be
have
fair,
had.
we haven't asked.
It may have had something to do with the 45 minutes of slamming their contest entries that we just did. Admittedly,
We gave them good ideas too, though.
You think it might rub them the wrong way a little bit?
Leg capes.
Stop.
like leg capes? Yeah, that's a good
like
idea.
leg capes,
You can
yeah.
have that one, SC.
we're not
It's
even going to
free.
charge you for that one.
No, I'm gonna charge you.
No, you're definitely not, because that's stupid. It's a bad idea.
Stupidly smart.
Watch some dumb like foreign MMO make that a thing now, and now we're just gonna have leg capes as a regularly accepted part of RPG fashion.
Yeah, well, on the character sheet, it goes right under the ass box.
But you get two slots for the leg capes.
I have no doubt the Wizards app is going to come out for D&D 5th edition, and there's going to be a slot for leg capes. And I was like, Jesus, maybe we just missed this, and Juxta is actually the smart one.
Maybe.
Juxta's always a smart one.
Juxta stumbles onto the $1 million idea.
That I just gave away for free.
What a shame.
Seems like everything we do.
Juxta, I promise you that one's not going to come back to bite you.
Anyway, all right, so let's talk about this Twinfinite.net interview that they apparently got to have with Yoshi P post PAX East. Someone gets to read this, so I get to take a break.
I'll start off.
Yeah.
Twinfinite asks, were there any jobs that came close in the discussions but eventually dropped in favor of Red Mage or Samurai? And Yoshida says, if he says anything, it's going to start the speculations and rumors. So, of course, that being said, the Samurai job came very smoothly, and that it was the Red Mage that we had to have that long debate pretty much until the last minute. It's interesting because we announced them in the other way around, the Red Mage announcement coming first. We were also thinking of a ranged caster as well. It's a very Japanese sort of, they call it a onmyoji. But that was something that was debated also. I wish I knew the best equivalent in English.
So another ranged caster.
Right.
Called an onmyoji. I wonder what that translates to.
Weebs. Maybe
Well,
we shouldn't have timed them out just yet.
Twinfinite said maybe the Oracle from Final Fantasy Tactics, and Yoshida says yes, but we finally decided on the Red Mage because we were able to confirm that it would still be fun to play.
See?
So apparently their concerns about Red Mage like not fitting into this game at all lasted a long time.
And I think that is probably pretty fair. When you have the white and black magic structure set up like it is in 14, especially being two complete, like they're almost dichotomy, what's the word that I'm looking for? They're almost opposing forces.
Yin yang.
They've caused calamities, right? Like their use or overuse or abuse has caused calamities in the past. And so when you have that kind of lore around your black and your white magic and the black and white magic users, then how you end up introducing a concept like red magic, red mage, or having a character or a class that uses both or a combination of the two, it becomes a very complicated question in terms of how does this fit in lore-wise.
Or they can just ignore the lore.
Or they say, lore-wise, red mages are the most powerful beings on the planet because we can use all kinds of magic because we're awesome and good-looking and charming and sexy with leg capes.
You have the worst headcanon of anyone I've ever met in my entire life.
Could you do us a favor?
I could.
Get Mama Juxta on the phone because I'd like to know how many times you were dropped on your head as a child.
It's a valid question.
45.
That's specific.
And a specific answer.
Well, do you think that's never been asked before? Idiot. Yeah, look who's dumb now.
Yeah,
she
look
goes
who's
on
dumb
to
now.
say, of course, utilizing the close range attack, but also the longer range attack. It was a good fit, so we finally decided to move towards Red Mage. Moving forward, because Samurai and Red Mage were so highly anticipated, and we heard from around the world that everybody wanted both of these jobs, now that we've gotten that taken care of moving forward, I feel like we have less pressure in terms of... oops, I just fucked up.
In terms of thinking of what kind of jobs to introduce, and we can be a little bit more free in our thinking and maybe considering a totally new original kind of job for Final Fantasy 14, such as mime.
I kind of agree, like with this statement, like Red Mage and Samurai were kind of like the last two jobs that were just like people beating down the doors.
Okay, you don't think though that now Blue Mage isn't going to take up that spot?
So Blue Mage is not on the level of Samurai or Red Mage for demand.
Yeah,
I'm with
Ascalia on that one.
In a broader Final Fantasy universe, you're right. They absolutely aren't. But with FF14 being such a spiritual successor to 11, I think it's going to be.
Nah, dude, because I think that you have a lot of people who, even from outside of the FF11, FFMMO structure, that were asking, like, where are core core jobs like red mage. Like when you have black mage, white mage, and you don't have red mage.
I'm not arguing that. Yeah, definitely samurai and red mage were far, far above blue mage. But again, now that they have been added, you think that no one's going to clamor for any more jobs?
No. But here's the thing. What's going to happen is like. People who all want their job, I really want Beastmaster, but as I really want Beastmaster, I sit there saying, but Samurai and Red Mage are both coming long before Beastmaster. And everyone kind of recognized that. Now that that's here, now everyone gets to go to their job and be now I want my job. Now it's my turn.
Now it's a scramble.
Beastmaster, I want that before Blue Mage. Hell yeah.
I would say that there are now that you've covered most of the big bases of your Final Fantasy job categories, right? Mm-hmm. Like now you're going to get into specific or oddball jobs that people have an affinity for, and I don't think that there are that many people who have that strong of an affinity for Blue Mage that don't, you know what I mean? And that there are enough of them to solidly cement it in as the for sure next job.
Oh, no, yeah, I'm not saying that they're going to cement it as the next job. I hope we never see Blue Mage in 14, but the people who played Blue Mage in 11, they are a special kind of people.
Well, no,
but I don't know that they're numerous enough.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that they're not numerous enough. They're not
minority.
No. There are definitely as many people who would clamor for as another oddball job like
Dancer.
Or yes, like Dancer. Dancer's a great example. Or Escalia, I even liked your example of Beastmaster.
Yeah, you want to talk about a vocal minority? It's pet job players.
There are easily as many Beastmasters out there as there are Blue Mages that are going to go, we want our job in there, and now there's not that clear front runner like we had.
Okay, but I don't feel like there was that many people clamoring for Samurai.
I think there was.
You're full of shit. You're absolutely 110% full of shit.
Blue Mage or Dancer?
Absolutely.
I feel like the reason you didn't hear as much for Samurai is because it was such a foregone conclusion that it was happening.
No, because imagine our episode that Nico wasn't here for when Samurai was first announced. How many people we had that were just like, oh, it was a safe bet. It's so lame. I was hoping that I feel like there was more people disappointed or let down by the idea that it was Samurai.
But that's the point. Is it was such a safe bet. It was. You knew that was happening.
In terms of requested jobs, you basically had Samurai, a Red Mage, and maybe lagging in a very distant third Blue Mage.
Which is kind of ridiculous, because I feel like Blue Mage has more of a spot in Final Fantasy lore overall than Samurai did. Samurai was big in 11. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, there was in 5, but it was kind of...
That's true.
It's not a very popular job.
It was a throw-on.
6 was basically Cyan, which
but
was
Blue
not
Mages,
popular.
you have all over the place. You had the Blue Mage in 9. You had Quistis in 6.
Quistis in 8, yeah.
Enemy skill materia in 7.
Blue Mage has way more of a spot in overall FF lore than Sam did.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, when you think of Samurai, what do you got? You have...
That dude,
Slicey guy,
the airship dude,
Sid
Tenzin.
No, Tenzin. That's it. When I think that's it. They have Tenzin.
I mean, when I think of a samurai, I don't think of any specific skills or moves in general. I can think of as Blue Mage or
Gill Toss.
Gill Toss. That's all you got.
Gill Toss.
And even that we didn't get
the instant kill in 5.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
Yeah.
That's why I don't feel like samurai was all that prominent in Final Fantasy.
Let's go to our phone lines and talk to Kapana Star. What's up, Kapana?
Hey, thanks for having me on the show. This is actually my first time calling in to LBR.
Excellent. Well, thanks for calling in.
Sure. What I actually wanted to talk about was another of the PAX East interviews with massively overpowered, which honestly I think it goes right with what you were just saying about these fake names with getting interviews there, but... well,
I'm telling you, this is people are making up fake names and websites and saying, "Can we get an interview?"
And they're going, "Yeah." Meanwhile, we've been here for 10 years, and they're like, "Nah, fuck you. You can't get into FanFest. You have to buy a ticket like the rest of everyone else." Anyway, all right. So, what in that massively overpowered interview had caught your attention?
Well, what caught my attention is that Yoshida was saying that. The Samurai and Red Mage jobs aren't actually going to be needing, story unlocks to be able to unlock them at level 50.
That's right.
It wasn't that clear. Yeah, it wasn't clear that whether you would actually be able to advance them beyond level 50. And get like the job quest after that. Personally, I'm really hoping that they are, because even if nothing else, it's really going to help out relatively newer people who are trying to go through that 2.1 to 2.5 slog by actually giving them something to do without having to unlock Ishgard and Heavensward, have a new job to play with, and actually get new job abilities and work with that, instead of having to go through all of that all at once and just, getting poetics and not even being able to do anything new with your stuff until you actually get past into Heavensward.
Yeah, I mean, but there's that aspect of job, the job quests that provided some kind of narrative to go along with your job. And in the instances where that was good, like in the instances where they had taken their time and actually wrote a pretty compelling narrative, then I think that actually added a really interesting element to the game. Going through, since they did the Dark Knight quests, man, I was not impressed with that storyline at all. It was pretty forgettable. And if they're not going to put the effort into the job quests, then just make them, unlockable abilities like everything else. Like you just unlock them with leveling up. It does seem like that area of the game got less development with Heavensward.
Oh, definitely, because like the original story arc for like Lancer to Dragoon was pretty decent, but the Heavensward one was ugh.
Yeah,
lame.
Yeah. I understand that there were a few good ones during Heavensward,
I
but
even
not
thought Ninja was cool, but it was still kind of.
It was cool, but it's like you kind of could expect more.
Yeah, there was one cool moment in the final one. The rest of it was just kind of like, whatever.
So, Kapana, are you essentially making an argument for just getting rid of the quests, or am I missing the point?
No, I'm thinking keep the quests in there, but more actually have some of them unlocked earlier, specifically because it actually gives something extra there for, say, a newer player. Like, for example, I'm actually a newer player. I only started at the tail end of 3.2.
Okay.
And when I went through 2.1, 2.4, the story was nice, but honestly, it was just a slog because I gained poetics, gained the best gear, but couldn't unlock new abilities to play with, couldn't get new stuff beyond the poetics there, and it's just, waiting until I finally get past the gates and then, unlock 3 job abilities all at once.
Yeah. I feel like they should have continued just, if they're going to add a new job, kind of this fast forwarding stuff that they do where they're like, oh, let's start it at 30. Oh, let's start it at 50. I mean, it does save new players a whole lot of time, but at the same time, you do end up missing a lot. You end up missing a lot of, learning the basics of your job as you're taking it through leveling dungeons and stuff.
Well, plus, a conversation I think we had in the last episode was, you argued that when you start, the lower you start a job and the longer time you have to play with it, you develop an identity with that job, a connection to that
affinity,
job.
yeah.
And you're right. I think that's obviously an important point. I kind of like what they've been doing with new jobs where they start them a little bit higher, but what I don't like is how that gap seems to be shrinking more and more and more.
Right. Yeah, because now we're pretty much going to be taking these 3 new jobs from 50 to 70.
Yeah, almost right there.
I think 30 made sense because, like, for most jobs, what's the gist of your rotation from 1 to 30? It's probably 1 to 3 moves. Like, there's not a ton to playing most jobs from 1 to 30.
True. Yeah.
Once you're at 30, that's where your moves start. Like, you get more stuff to like mix in as off-global cooldowns, and that's where you start learning your rotation. I think.
Which is why I don't think that I threw up I pitched a big fit about them starting at 30.
Yeah.
But I think 50 is a far cry from 30 because all of us played this game capped at 50 for an entire year and a half.
Yeah.
So that's a completely different animal. Not only that, but then you also have to, if you're Square Enix, you have to write less quests from, ostensibly those job quests that existed between 30 and 50. You don't even have to bother writing those anymore.
Yeah, isn't that where you get your artifact stuff?
That is, yeah. So unless they're starting you off with armor, or if that's just a part of the job quest at the outset.
At the end of the job quest, they just give you all of it.
Wouldn't that be disappointing, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be disappointing.
Because
It was disappointing when we did it in 2.0. It's like, oh, I got all my artifact armor in 2 quests.
Yep.
Yeah. I did like, I like the way that they did artifact armor in 1.0. Where you had to, there were some that, it's sort of like FF11, you had to go to Beastman Strongholds.
A dungeon.
Find coffers.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Come on. Like, it's artifact armor. Don't just fucking give it to me.
Yeah. It's
11 artifact armor. It was a pain in the ass to get, and it usually sucked.
Yeah. But they did something.
But it was cool looking.
Yeah.
They did something similar to that quest structure with 1.0, and I really liked that. Like, when I think back on that now, I think I really like that. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord if you want to call in. Thank you very much for your call, Kapana. We appreciate it. If you are a first-time caller to Limit Break Radio, let us know.
We'll bump you forward.
Because we've actually had a lot of first-time callers within the last couple of weeks, and that's really cool. We want more people to call. We want more people to be involved because this is a talk show. It's a call-in talk show for a reason. We have the open lines for a reason. We staff them with someone answering your calls for a reason. And so we want to hear from you. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord.
So our next interview question was, is it a possibility that new jobs will be added at some point during Stormblood, similar to how Ninja was added in Realm Reborn? And he kind of gave
Stop. This is about Ninja. I'm reading it.
Oh, okay.
With the Ninja, that was actually a job that we wanted to launch at the start of A Realm Reborn, and we just looked at the schedule and determined that it was impossible.
Oh, that's so gay.
To match the launch, unfortunately. We had made plans to introduce it, and we had a very clear plan. We planned it over a year before the actual implementation, and we already had plans for an additional job in the middle of the storyline. All right, so here's my question, because every time someone brings up the Ninja thing, they're like, oh no, that was too much work. We're never going to do that again. And now they had it planned a year in advance? They had the launch planned a year in advance, but they knew even before that they wanted to add Ninja.
Right.
And it was still too much work for you?
Yeah, I mean, I get why you don't want to introduce a job mid-expansion. I don't think that actually does make any sense to do. That said, like, for Ninja, like, I don't know. If you can plan out with one thing, but
reasonings and excuses for stuff are just so all over the place that I don't even know what to think anymore.
It's very weird. Like I say, overall their answer is no, we're not going to do that, and I think that's the right call. I just think their reasoning for it is weird.
Yeah, they go on to say, with the current upcoming expansion and our style of development moving forward, cutting content, we're looking to release an expansion pack maybe every 2 years and continually updating the content with it. It's extremely difficult to introduce a brand new job in the middle of the expansion itself. We feel it can only be matched with the timing of the expansion launch. Not that we don't want to introduce any new jobs, it's just physically difficult. It could kill us.
Oh, well, that is very serious.
Okay, but yeah, making a new job takes like about a year or so in development. From all the animations, from playstyle to balancing. It takes a long time to do, so I don't have any problems with them not introducing a job mid-patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense.
That's fair.
Oh, okay. Good.
Did you want to add anything onto that?
That's what I added.
So you added what we just said a moment ago?
Was there a reason that you...
I wasn't paying attention to you guys.
Great. With Shirogane as the new housing ward, is Ishgard a place that people shouldn't hope for anymore, or is it still a possibility in the future? All of our resources are focusing on Shirogane right now. Of course, we can't say that we're never going to have it. For a while, we're going to be focusing on the Shirogane area, but that being said, after we have established Shirogane's housing wards, we feel that possibility-wise, rather than Alamigo, maybe Ishgard might be a higher consideration point. We're hoping by then Ishgard won't be as frigid and cold. Wait.
What?
I assume that's a joke?
When hell unfreezes over? What did he just...
Do they have like a summer month or something?
Or is something going to happen that's going to change the climate there? That's got to be a joke, right?
That's a joke.
I guess.
That's I'm saying that we're never going to have Ishgard housing.
Okay. No Ishgard housing. And that's everything from Twinfinite Game.
But you are more likely to get Ishgard housing than you are Alamigan housing, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
So Reddit also had a PAX interview at the PAX East.
Letting anyone in.
All the more for listening on podcast. You need to watch live show. Even been at 4 weeks and weeks like I had my remaining testicle ripped out. Can I get Arco cover it up?
You just missed the Russian donation voice.
Hey, that was German, you uncultured heathen.
That was not German. I know what German sounds like.
That was definitely German. That was Hans.
That was Hans.
Hans at hands.
Hans and hands?
Hans with hands that are so dreamy.
What is that? That's a reference to something, isn't it?
What? Hans at hands?
Yeah.
Instead of Rads at hands?
Oh, okay. All right, I got you.
Idiot.
So, Reddit asked.
Thank you for the donation, Thor.
Players enjoy keeping many glamour sets, which they switch between frequently. Are there any plans on making a glamour log system where obtained pieces of gear are glamourable without having the physical item, like the WoW transmog log? Yoshida thinks for a bit. When asked, is it physically possible? It's possible.
Oh, good, thanks.
It's not impossible, but there's so many different things that we do want to do in terms of UI that I'm afraid the priority isn't as high on our list.
Fuck you.
Leading up to 4.0, we are setting up the UI so that each job has their own sort of user interface, and there are many different tasks that on our priority list, so it might take a bit more time before we can address it.
Also, we don't want to give you any reason to not have 8 retainers and give us more money a month, so...
They really like those retainers.
Man, Juxta. Right there.
It's like they are begrudgingly giving us the inventory space, and every time they bring it up, we have to applaud them to be like, yes, we still want this. Don't fucking make us buy more retainers. Because that's the second move, is allowing us to buy more retainers.
I'll have you know, I canceled all 7 of my other retainers.
Fucking hell!
Why?
Why? Because I'm not using them.
Why did you have 7 to begin with?
What?
Why did you...
I only have 3 or 4 additional.
What could you possibly put on 7 retainers?
Glamours?
Oh my god.
Duh.
You have 7 retainers worth of glamour?
Technically 8 with the 2 free ones.
Holy hell.
1 for each slot. You have 1 for helmets, 1 for body pieces, 1 for hands, 1 for legs, 1 for feet, 1 for weapon pieces, and 1 for all the stupid currency.
Dear Lord, I have my 2 retainers, and neither of them are even half full.
That's ridiculous. That is a terrible, terrible, terrible way to sort
when
your
you
stuff.
are a glamour connoisseur, you little faker, you piece of shit.
No, fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck you if you don't have 1 fucking glamour for tanks, 1 glamour for fucking range casters, 1 glamour for fucking healers, and 1 caster, 1 glamour
you just
for
said
fucking melees, then you're a fucking poser for glamour.
Except you just said that you keep all of your headgear on 1 retainer. So if you're trying to glamour your red mage, you have to go through and be like, oh wait, no, I can't. Red mage can't wear that one. That's stupid.
No, you go through your head retainer, find what you're gonna wear, then you go through your body retainer, find what you're gonna wear.
But it's mixed in with all of your other shit. What if the job you want to wear it on can't wear that?
Then you switch to your fucking job you can wear it on, you moron. What the fuck are you talking about?
If you want to specifically make a glamour for red mage, okay, and you're looking through your stuff, oh yeah, I want to use, oh wait, I can't use that. Only tanks can use that. Why the fuck is it there then?
Because it's all on the fucking headpiece, you fucking moron.
That's so stupid. That is the stupidest way to do it.
You keep all your fucking hats in one spot.
This is why you have the worst glamour.
No, you're a fucking idiot.
The worst
glamour fucking poser, because you only have shit for ninja.
Shit.
You know what?
Shit.
Why don't you tell us the creative process behind the glamour you're wearing? Oh wait, you're not. You're just laying on the ground fucking naked like a degenerate piece of shit.
It's called art, you fucking moron. It's a statement about society. Learn a little bit.
What's the statement?
It depends on how you interpret it. I'm not going to tell you how it relates to you personally, okay? I'm not a fucking piece of shit who tries to tell people what art means and what it means to you.
I'm just
what does it mean to you? Tell me what it means, Daddy.
What I'm fascinated
what do I mean?
by is the fact that if he's canceled all 7 of his retainers, that means that his ability to glamour himself is really limited right now.
Yeah, so really, who's the real connoisseur here? Because guess what? I still have all of my glamour available,
I can bring it back whenever I want.
Yeah, it just
Right now, I don't need to.
it costs how much?
Like $27.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
A month.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It costs $27 a month, and you're getting ready to drop $100 on that new gear they're putting out. Man.
Worth it.
Oh my god.
Okay, Mr. Moneybags. What the fuck?
Wait, he's managing our money. This is getting concerning.
There might be some embezzlement going on.
Hey, you can't spell embezzlement without
Juxta.
Mezzlement?
Anyway.
That was going to go somewhere, I hoped.
So, I mean, would you guys want to see a transmog log?
Jesus Christ, yes.
Or does it make that shit too easy?
No, that was one of the smartest
Oh my
things that
God.
World of Warcraft ever did. That way you get the thing, it counts in your log, then you can fucking throw it out.
yeah.
Jesus, yes.
I mean, it just seems kind of silly for him to just sort of dismiss it out of hand like that.
Well,
if it's that big of a deal, you know?
I mean, I'm sure it is like a huge undertaking for UI backlog stuff. I mean, I don't...
Is it?
Well, I think that when World of Warcraft added it, they added it along with an expansion.
Yeah, as an expansion
Yeah, that was like a
title,
key
so-
feature sort of deal.
God, I throw out or turn in old glamour as soon as it doesn't fit in my armory chest anymore. I'm not actually getting out a retainer to get shit out.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
I'm not wasting my time on that.
Well, imagine if you could just click a hotkey and have it all pop up in front of you.
Oh, sure. If they put that in, yeah. That'd be great.
I like Thor's comment. Transmog, a mog with tits and a cock.
Jeez.
Iscali, is that true?
Is that accurate?
No.
Do you go to transmog, like underground places with dark things?
Underground transmog club.
All right, hold up.
No. The way that Juxta started it, it sounded like Asgali is hanging out in holes.
Yeah, just what do you
Dank
think I
holes
do?
in the ground.
Like, let's say I'm having a night where I am dressed feminine. What do you think I do exactly on that night?
You go out and you dig holes, clearly.
No, not like big holes. Like, go to like the seedy part of town where there's like gangs.
That was not clear by what you were trying to say earlier.
I get what he meant by the underground.
None of that was clear.
Well, I mean, like
underground. That's the only thing that I heard.
Well, yeah, you go into like an abandoned warehouse and like you have to like go through the bouncer. Like, hey, what's the password? It's
who's the bouncer here?
I'm a transmog lover. It's like, oh, okay, come in and go down the hallway and into the basement. And then there's like a big cage where like,
all right, hang on, no. Don't stop him. He just said there's a cage. It's getting interesting.
Yeah, to clarify, not only are they in an abandoned warehouse, they have to go into the basement of the abandoned warehouse.
Here's my... This is what Juxta has in his mind. Do you guys remember the live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the first one?
Yes.
Do you remember that place, like the kids who like Shredder was like collecting, hung out, like that party rave warehouse that they had?
Not even a little bit.
Okay, well, it existed. And I think that's where Juxta thinks I hang out.
Continue. Cages.
Yeah, so there's like
cages.
there's like a big cage, like where it's like cage match. There's like two trans people.
What,
and like
we fight to the death too?
Would you let me finish?
No, you fuck to the death.
Well, no, but you have to like fight
That's where the spiky, phalluses come in.
What?
I was gonna say you have to like fight each other and like rip off each other's clothes, and the first one to get naked has to submit to the other one, and then like all the other trans people are like watching from like the sides and cheering them on and like
Juxta-
making bets.
Juxta, I would invite you to come along with what I do sometime, but you would be so disappointed, and I don't want to take this from you.
He just thinks it's like Thunderdome.
Like transgender people go to Thunderdome.
Thundercocks.
What?
And like some days, like Thursday nights are special because like nobody comes that night, so they have to like introduce like gimmicks. So it's like there's some
Gimmick night too?
Yeah, like on May or April, like someday, like the ring is like electrified.
Wait, why don't people come on Thursdays? What keeps them away?
Thirsty Thursday. You gotta go drinking on Thursday. You can't go to the underground.
You can't get
place
alcohol
drunk.
here
They
either?
don't have a
Wait,
bar.
wait a
Oh my
minute,
God,
we're
that
going
is
to-
so dangerous.
We're going to underground warehouses where we have fights to the death, or apparently we fuck at the end, but there's no alcohol involved in this?
No, that's so dangerous. How are you gonna get home at night? I mean, Uber doesn't go there.
You don't think none of these trans people maybe have Ubers? They don't carpool?
We have cars. We're allowed
Are
to
they not
drive, you
economically
realize?
sound?
Okay, well, that's just shitty for the designated driver. Okay, so I'm not going to condone that by any means.
You know that trans people can get driver's licenses, right? We just can't get the proper sex on them.
Of course, that's fine. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is you're not going to drive home drunk after you go to this underground fight sex club. Are you a fucking moron?
I'm glad to know that you at least think I'm responsible about this.
Well, of course trans people are responsible.
What do you mean, of course? What's your reasoning behind that?
Why would they not be? They have like all the best qualities of a man and a woman put together with none of the downsides.
They don't have any of the downsides?
No! Well, why would you be a trans person and be like a bigot like a man, but then have to stay in the kitchen all day like a woman? That doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone choose that life? They would clearly have all the sewing skills of a woman, but then be smart enough as a man to make good
that's
clothes.
the best part of being a woman?
Sewing?
Sewing ability?
Yes! You don't think I wish I could tailor my clothes and like sew up the pockets and get holes in them?
to do that.
So why don't you make the choice to become transgendered and learn?
I don't have that kind of time on my hands.
Oh my god.
I don't like what?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Everyone's asking questions.
Why are the best parts of this show either me talking about cum or being trans? I don't know.
Why does anyone listen to this show?
That is a good question.
Why is anyone listening to this? We just let this dumb motherfucker ramble on for a good solid 7 minutes.
And we have increased by about 100 viewers.
Not just like just letting him dig his own hole that he thinks apparently
I hang out in.
Yeah, Scalia hangs out in.
He lives in a reality all of his own.
What is this? How did we get here?
Where do you get this information? Where do you learn this from?
You just pick it up.
From where?
On like TV, on the streets. Whoa.
I'm so close from going right now.
Okay.
All right.
Melky Thera's like almost so triggered.
That voice is definitely unnerving.
Most Germans are.
Well, yeah. I think that's the reason that it's unnerving. How did we get here?
That was the weirdest thing.
What is this show about?
My whole body hurts.
First rule of Underground Fuck Club, we don't fuck and tell about Underground Fuck Club. Juxta.
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 First rule of Underground Fuck Club.
Juxta.
We do not talk about the Underground Fuck Club.
How? Is there a way to make the voice yell? Because
There's not.
Because I feel like that would be way more appropriate for that accent. It's just got to be screaming.
Wow. I never thought I was going to get to have a conversation like that, like in my real life, much less on the air.
In front of everyone.
Now, I have heard this actual comment come my way when I was hanging out with a friend and she introduced me to one of her friends where he said to me verbatim, "Wait, so you're like one of them tranny-mosexuals, right?"
Tranny-mosexual.
Whoa.
And my friend immediately went, "Dear God, shut up."
Wow.
And the look of horror on her face.
She's obviously
weighed
never met
everything worth
Juxta,
it.
right? Like you need to let her listen to this section of the episode so that way she never feels bad about anything anybody else ever says.
I can tell you, I feel pretty good about everything else that we've ever done on Limit Break Radio. Maybe
You're
not
not
so
sure
much
about this?
Maybe not so much this segment.
This where you draw the line?
No, I'm not.
There's no line being drawn. He's just said up till now.
If I was trying to draw a line, I would be trying to redirect back to the interview that we're sitting in front of. I'm just letting this spin out of control, out of pure fascination and horror at this point.
There's no horrors there.
That's disappointing.
They're all respectable people.
Why do you say that sarcastically, like trans people aren't respectable?
Are you trying to get on my side now?
It's just an obvious thing. We already went through this.
Okay.
You want to take the next question, Scalia?
No, I need a break. I need a moment. All right.
Okay, well, if we need a moment, we have someone on call who wants to talk about stuff.
Do that, please.
I hope it's not about this stuff.
It's Mark who wants to call in about the 2 DPS classes.
What's up, Mark? How's it going?
Good. How you guys doing? Let me just say you guys are an absolute shit show, but I love it.
That's accurate.
I love it.
Wait. Is there poop stuff at these underground fight clubs?
In the bathrooms.
Okay.
No. Listen.
I'm sure sometimes it actually happens in the cage, but that's that's why electricity night.
I'm gonna go tell you something that I've come to learn about transsexual people, myself included. We are kinky as fuck, but we draw a hard line at scat. That is not okay.
Not actual information that I needed.
You needed to know that.
I know.
What about Vor?
I'm sure some of them are into it,
but no one is into scat.
We have a caller now.
There's someone actually on the phone.
I just want you to know that he was on the phone during that whole segment.
I know. Well, I'm sorry for all of this.
It's okay. I'm not mad. I'm surprised that you guys are going to pegging or anything like that. So,
what about felching? Is felching kind of a big deal?
What's felching? I don't know that one.
Felching is where you take that's where you take a toilet paper roll and you shove it up your partner's ass, and then you take something small, preferably furry, like a gerbil, and you let it crawl up. Yeah, the felching.
I've never known anyone to be into that.
Well, I remember people talking about gerbling.
Gerbling was the term that I knew.
Gerbling. No. It's called felching.
Wow.
You've never heard the Armageddon story? All right, never mind.
Wow, you people are gross.
No.
Armageddon! All right, what do you want? What's up, Mark?
I'm just coming back into the game. And
why would you?
Curious. If you're sorry for your audience, if you guys have already gone over this, but how do you guys feel about them adding 2 classes?
Your phone's breaking up. How do we feel about them adding what? Did we lose him?
He said 2 new classes, but I don't know what. Maybe instead of 3, he meant to say?
Thoughts on adding 2 DPS classes and no tank and healer.
Ah, okay.
Oh, well, we've been down that road. Boo!
Boo.
Boo?
That's how I feel about it.
Okay. I think that it's going to create a clusterfuck of epic proportions when it comes to people queuing for stuff. I don't think that Yoshi P's logic that people who level tanks and healers will only level tanks and healers.
No, it doesn't make any sense because guess what? Last time, if they wanted to stay tank, they had an option to do that. Now, if they want to play one of the new classes, they got to go DPS.
But here's the other thing. You know what else tanks and healers play?
DPS
classes. Yeah.
You know what just popular jobs are? A red mage and samurai. People are going to want to play those classes.
You think?
I think a lot.
How many...
Get good Ani. Felching is sucking your semen out of an asshole using astro.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Out of an asshole
using a straw?
Ooh.
Using a straw.
Get good.
Was that gagging?
You don't like brown snowballs?
Oh my god, I'm actually gonna throw up. I heard a chocolate milk story one time, and it's all coming flooding back right now.
Oh man.
Okay.
Anyway, I think that it's gonna make. Dungeon queues a clusterfuck. I think that it's going to make leveling pretty difficult and kind of a slug, at least for the first 2 or 3 weeks until things end up shaking out. Because right out of the gate, everyone's going to want to try the new shit.
Yeah.
Everyone always wants to try the new shit. And before, in Heaven's Word, you had people being directed to multiple new classes. You had, a new DPS, a new healer, a new tank.
Yeah.
So those that had those classes at cap that maybe wanted to try a new version of a tank, they had something to try out. But you don't have that this time. Most tanks have all the tanks leveled. Like if you're a serious tank, you've got all of the tanks sitting at 60. The same thing with healers, because you're trying to figure out which is the best healer or which is the best tank. So I think adding another, and for those people who do have their tanks at cap, and even for those that don't, what reason do they have to queue as tanks? Like, what reason do I have to queue as a tank right now for a level 50 dungeon that would help a samurai or a red mage be leveling up? Honestly. Outside.
I mean, they did say they're going to add more bonuses for the job in need.
Great, more gil.
Job in need. Come on, get the fuck out of here.
That's like nothing compared to like World of Warcraft, where you get like a bag that has potentially something worth lots and lots of money in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, what reason?
Or a
there's no
special
reason.
mount?
Yeah, or a special mount.
But I mean, do you see what I'm saying though? Like, I think the primary concern is the queues being clogged, and I think to be able to do that, you really need to have some strong encouragement for someone who's sitting at cap to be queuing as a tank or a healer.
And bonus XP isn't going to cut it.
I mean,
especially when it's capped.
For a little bit, while we move between 60 and 70, you will get that.
You'll do your leveling roulette every day.
Yeah, you'll do
that.
your leveling roulette. But as soon as you have all of the classes that you want at cap, you're done. I don't.
People will do Palace of the Dead. You don't need a tank in there.
I mean, I guess Palace of the Dead is a way to circumvent that, but
until I got my alt up to 60.
I guess that's really the only other option that you're looking outside of dungeons.
Yeah, well, to me, as a player on the developer's part,
but it's starting at 50 though. But it's starting at 50. Like you don't have that 30 to 50 grind. Like if you're starting at 50, you're going from 50 to 70, right? So you need. I guess Palace of the Dead is one way to do it. But shit, I don't like Palace of the Dead that much to want to do it that much to be the primary way to level up a job.
You've only got to get it to 60 because at 60 then you can start doing the storyline to get the rest of the way. So 50 to 60 is the grind that you have to make.
But
you only do the storyline once.
That's fair.
Okay, so what? You organize just DPS runs of Palace of the Dead to be able to get it from...
That's pretty piss easy from 1 to 100.
Dude, that doesn't sound like much fun either.
No, hell no.
No, but
none of that sounds fun.
If Palace of the Dead didn't exist, then I would have a lot more terrified reactions to the prospects of leveling Red Mage. Because, I mean, at the very least, you can always go into Palace of the Dead and get kind of XP that way.
That's true.
I mean, hell, people solo to floor 100 in Palace of the Dead.
That's true. I mean, I don't know. All right, thanks for the call, Mark. I didn't even see that caller was up there.
You didn't?
No.
Good thing I got your back, bro.
I want you to know, when I was out of the room, I sent my resume to all the other Final Fantasy XIV podcasts.
Well, let us know how the rejection letters sound.
They're gonna pay. They're gonna pay you.
Yeah,
I didn't think so.
Currently in fights such as Zervan with Soar and multiple points in A11S, such as the entire ball phase, like the 4 balls, it's possible.
So many balls.
It's possible to skip these due to high amounts of raid DPS. This can make some fights awkward to execute and make some players feel like skipping these is the only option in the fight. Like we've seen big community backlash where if you can't skip Soar, we're going to disband. Are there any plans to address this in the new raids like Omega and future Primals? In North America, this is a bigger problem specifically. Is it? Interesting. All in all, it depends on who is creating the content. If the game designer is a veteran, and they should have designed it so that you wouldn't have to worry about that sort of phase shift, thus it won't make it so that the HP is not so severely taken away in raid content. That's our hope from the designer's side, that we'll make our best effort, but at this point, all we can say is that we'll be very mindful of the situation when we're developing our content. That's about the extent I can say at this point.
Yeah, it's basically just another version of, know the fight, or, be up to the the mark, or we're going to kick you type crap.
Skip Soar kick.
Oh, okay. That's what you mean. Like, how hard are those DPS checks to meet? I was able to skip Soar when it was brand new.
Some people are very bad at this game, okay, Ascalia? They're not glorified.
Not all of us can be super hoity-toity raider types.
I was going to say transsexuals.
Jesus Christ.
Back to that well, eh?
Oh, my God.
That's a good one.
I think Juxta has trans jealousy.
They're really cool people.
Juxta, you want to go shopping? You want to go shopping sometime?
They are so smart and so funny, okay?
I'm going to see Beauty and the Beast this week. You want to go?
I think...
that's how you turn trans.
God.
Can I?
Seeing Disney movies is how you turn trans?
No, there's a gay guy in it. I heard from Fox News that if you watch Beauty and the Beast, it could turn you gay.
It's got the gays in it?
It's got the gays in it.
Yeah, can't wait till we see Frozen 2 where...
The gay agenda.
The Frozen Boogaloo. Because it's not electric.
Hang on, hold up.
Pause.
So Kahlo wanted to claim credit for the blank Boogaloo, And the thing is that that's a very specific reference to something. Can you name what the original reference is to?
People do that reference all the time. I don't have to know what it's originally from to know that it's something that people do all the time.
But yet I know what the original reference is.
It doesn't prove anything except that you know the original reference.
But I brought the original reference in as a specific, like, the point was to reference the thing. That's how I know I came up with it and you didn't, dumb shit.
Nah.
Yeah.
It was the Electric Boogaloo.
Nope.
Breakin' 2.
Breakin' 2, the Electric Boogaloo. Now, I've actually seen that movie. You IMDb'd it clearly.
No, I know exactly everything about it. Like, it was initially released on December 21st, 1984. Did you know that? I don't think so. There's also a film series, Breaking Film Series, and producers were Menahem Golem and Joachim Globulus.
Juxta, real quick.
Globulus?
Look at me.
Globulus was in this game?
Look at me.
What?
What's it about? No, look at me.
No, look at him. Look at him. Don't bring out what it.
I want to hear the Juxta.
It was about electricity, obviously.
Electricity.
Yeah, what happened with the electricity?
Yeah.
Well, it got boogalooed.
Where did it get boogalooed?
What? Hang on. It's
literally in the title.
Shut up.
Dancing.
Shut up.
Dancing, really?
What is a boogaloo exactly?
A boogaloo? It's like a bugbear, but it's bigger and white and in the snowlands.
It's not. That's not what that is. But okay.
How do you know? You've never seen it.
So it's actually, the sad part is that I have.
He only watches obscure, crappy movies like that.
I've seen
like Meet the Fendersons.
Meet the people. Jesus Christ.
Hey. Oh my God.
I give up. I'm done. Oh my God.
Nate, we need to sit down and just talk about awful movies sometimes. 'Cause I feel like we watch a lot of really bad movies. You know what I saw the other night?
Trying to trans you.
No, straight up the other night. Oh yeah, well we can watch Sleepaway Camp if you want to deal with that.
First of all, why don't you do that tonight instead of when the show wraps? Like the whatever the fuck it is you are, guy or girl today, running off and leaving us here to make him feel like he's loved and has friends. Why don't you stay for once?
Why do you keep lying to him is the more important question.
No, because we try to tell him, like, we want to leave, but he's just like, oh, I got another thing, and he just keeps talking, and it's like even as angry and as salty of a person as he is, he has this, like, puppy mode he goes into, where you're like, if I walk out the door right now, he's just going to be left with Fritz.
He's going to shit on the carpet.
And as much as Fritz loves us, I think that when we leave,
look,
Fritz feels real bad.
Just because you have to clean the shit out of the corners when you come in for the show every week does not mean that I panic shit when you guys leave, okay? That's not what that means.
Then why do you panic shit when you leave?
It's a completely different story. It's not because you're leaving, though.
Do you panic beefaroni in your beard?
God damn it.
This is going to be the one episode that Nika listens to and is going to be so confused.
No, she won't.
Yeah,
she won't.
Nika doesn't know how to download a show.
Back to that Reddit interview. Before the release of Heaven's Ward, there was talk about moving away from centralized hubs of endgame content and starting to fill the open world with more... with more stuff.
There was talk.
We didn't really see that in Heaven's Ward. A lot of stuff is still focused around Idly Shire. You can enter raids from your FC house. You don't have to actually travel there anymore, which leaves the world kind of feeling empty with no real reason to travel out into it. Are there any plans to fill Stormblood with content that actually makes us want to visit these zones again? He says, first of all, I want to clarify, I don't actually remember moving away from central hubs. I'm worried there might be some sort of misinterpretation. I don't remember this ever being discussed either.
Yeah, he's lying.
During Heaven's Ward development, it was mentioned that Realm Reborn areas were too small and the content team had issues placing content into the areas because it was too congested. So they built out the Heaven's Ward area to be bigger to have more room to place content. But currently it feels like we have Beastmen tribes in the areas, but not a lot else in Heaven's Ward areas. The areas are larger, though. There's a lot of instance content. Yoship says, to your point, because we were able to expand the areas in Heaven's Ward, we weren't like cramped in terms of placing our beast tribes and different sorts of content for that. And Aquapolis. The position of the treasure chest wasn't such a cramped area, and even like the hunt, it feels like we were able to make it so it's more comfortable to just play as well. We feel that we've made the adjustments that work in favor in having more spread out areas.
I don't, but I just, there's no reason to do that content. There's not a good enough compelling reason to engage in that content.
I think Matt Hilton helps. He says, I think your question just boils down to there's no open world content. And Reddit says, yes, that's a big part of the question. Yoship says, we understand the demand for it, but we're not Final Fantasy XI. The room laughs. So we don't have intentions of making it. I understand personally because I grew up playing that style of game, but when it boils down to where a lot of people that desire that kind of content, that's not the case. Just imagine back in the 11 days when you were trying to gather a party, how long did it take you to gather your party? But nowadays you wait 20 minutes on a duty finder and people are complaining. Would a whole bunch of people desire content where you would go out of the way to enter into the field, to feed a particular monster, to open and trigger the content, and go through all that hassle? It might not be the case.
Yeah, but you didn't have a fucking mechanism like Party Finder. You didn't have the tools that FF14 gives its player base to be able to organize quickly like that. Look at Hunts. Hunts is a great example of the way that Party Finder really made that process so much faster and so much smoother than what it was trying to form parties as people are running to the mobs. Mm-hmm. Now, I get it. I get what he's saying, that it's not FF11, and so waiting for something to form like that, people don't have that kind of patience. And I agree, for the most part, that people don't have that kind of patience. But when you do have a tool that makes that process way easier or expedites that process, then I don't think you can make that same claim. Now, what I think he's actually talking about, what I think he's actually referring to, is that people don't like a claim system. People don't like open world content that excludes you, that has the potential from excluding you. An instance, you enter, you know that you've got an objective to kill. You're not going to stand on the sideline and watch some other asshole get the kill that you've been trying to get all afternoon, right? Like, that's just not, unless you're like knocked off of a platform, but you get the win and the carry and the chance to drop on the loot. But what he's really talking about is a open world claim system where mobs can be claimed by a specific group and cannot be fought or gained in any kind of rewards from. That's what I think he's trying to defend. And when people are asking for open world content, I think that is a big component of what they're asking for, right? It's not just having a big mob that a whole bunch of people can go out and kill that drops something, because that's just hunts, right? If you're talking about an NM or like a pop structure or things like that, usually that comes along with a claim system. Someone, a party has a pop item, they hit that pop item, that mob is claimed for them. If everyone can run in and mob it, then there is no value to that pop item, right? Mm-hmm. It becomes a intrinsic value all around.
So what if you don't have your claim system, you have it operate similar to a hunt, and the party that puts in the most damage on it gets the item, or it just drops people randomly?
But that sounds exactly the same as like attribution for a fate. That sounds like the same thing. You do enough damage, you do enough DPS, then you're going to get gold attribution on this fate,
you get the reward. If you do enough, only one party.
Man, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Then what kind of strategy do you have to apply? Then that's just throwing waves upon waves upon waves of people at it, right? Like, if hunts had a claim structure, if only one party could fight a hunt at a time, right? You would actually have to apply genuine, real strategy to what you're fighting. Instead, the entire server comes and kills it. Or maybe now there's 10 people that are coming to kill hunts. I don't know how many people are even engaged in that shit anymore. It might actually be now a little closer to what it could be if there's a claim system. Okay? So I think that's something that people miss. That's what that question is saying. That's what that question is trying to strike at the heart at, is that this is a system that there are specific players, and some of them may be FF11 players, but that they miss.
Well, I also think he's looking at the most frustrating aspect of 11's open world content and saying, because that was a thing, it can't work as a concept. And that's not accurate.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's accurate.
Like, it's been, like, let's see, what now? 14 years since FF11's claim system was developed. You don't think there's room to improve upon it in the modern era?
Well, not just that, but, I was thinking about the contested, having the idea of a contested zone like Alamigo moving forward into Stormblood. And what is the point of even having that, right? Like, if you look at Besieged, or if you look at Campaign from FF11, those events encouraged mass participation from the entire server to all work towards one goal, because there was no other content in the game that allowed you to do that. Every bit of content except for what is instanced in FF14 allows you to do that. Fates, hunts, the entire server comes and they get something out of it. So having a contested zone, or having a zone that, you're going head to head with the Garleans in, how is that any structurally or functionally different from a Fate?
You'd have to change stuff up. Based on what's in the game right now, you're right. There isn't no reason to do it. They would have to do like what they did in FF11 with the Astral Candescence. Having control of that zone has to give you something. There has to be an incentive there that says, oh shit, we ain't got the zone anymore, guys. Let's go and get it back.
Yeah, you could remember those fights that the campaign ops, you could only participate in them if your zone controlled Valdunia, which was very hard to have in the original times of campaign.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So that's the sort of thing you have to look at. There has to be some sort of intrinsic, whether it be content or value, that you can only get if you have it.
Buffs, yeah.
A buff of some kind, yeah.
But again, if everyone is complaining about Diadem just being Fates in the fucking sky, okay?
Yeah.
Then all this is it's going to be a campaign fought in Fates. That's what the criticism is. At the end of the day, you're talking about campaign fought with Fates.
Except I think people are misconstruing the real problem with Diadem, okay? Yeah, it is just Fates in the sky, which seems uninspired, but there's no reason to do the Fates in the sky. If they had a better reward structure, if they actually had stuff that people wanted out of there, people would do the fucking Fates, and guess what? They'd eat them up. It always, with Square-Enix, comes back to the reward structure. The only reason to go into Diadem right now is for those weapons. Oh, but you can get stuff out of the lockboxes. Yeah, you can get 265 gear. That's absolutely random, and you might get one every few runs. That's not even if it does work for your job, even if it has the stats you need, it's still going to be a shitty item level.
Yeah, but when we talk about something like Campaign or Besieged, literally the only rewards that you got out of that were XP or limit points and maybe a little bit of gil, and people still did that in droves.
Yeah,
it was because it was
XP
a different.
So worthful.
You needed XP.
I understand that, but it was also such a deviation from the normal gameplay of FF11 because there was nothing that you could do on that scale. It was the first piece of content that you could do where the entire server comes in and they defend or they go on the offense or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that was the very first piece of content that FF11 saw that was like that. So and I'm not saying that FF14 needs the same thing. Do not misunderstand me. What I'm saying FF14 needs to do is it needs to subvert its player base's expectations in the same way that Campaign or Besieged did for the 11 player base. That's why it became a populated event. That's why people liked doing it, and that's why it was well received. It's because we weren't expecting this. We were expecting more party content, more alliance content, more shit like Sky, but just in the fucking woods. But that's not what we got. We did get that in the form of ZNMs, but we also got this big, massive server-wide battle structure that we have never seen. Now we have a game that lends itself intrinsically to the server-wide battle structure. We've seen Odin, we've seen Behemoth, we've seen these sort of big fights, and they're fine for a little bit, and then they dissipate, and the enthusiasm around them dissipates. Why? Because you've set up your audience's expectations, and now because they're expecting it, they're going to be bored if it's a copy and paste job like you did with the goddamn choral that you put in for Heavensward. Okay? When it's a copy and paste structure, then you start to have problems and you start to have audience burnout and fall off. It's what you do to subvert the expectations, and I got to give it to, even though I'm not a personal fan of it, Palace of the Dead did this a little bit and did it fairly well, where it subverted a lot of traditional expectations around the way that an event or a dungeon is supposed to operate in FF14, and it gave you rewards worth doing. You can level an alt, you can level a new job, you can get some pretty decent rewards out of there. So if you look at when you're looking at it like that, then what does a contested zone being in FF14 actually fucking accomplish? I don't know that it does anything, because guess what? The rewards out of the shit that was in 11 that was like that weren't that great, but it's still encouraged participation. There's got to be a way for FF14 and Yoshi P to say, okay, we've seen what their expectations are. They expect us to come out with 2 new dungeons, the exact same structure, linear from front to back, 3 bosses, and then we're done. They expect us to come out with, this raid structure. They expect us to come out with this alliance structure. How do you subvert that? How do you take that structure and then go, how do you change it and make us surprised on the other end of that? It's a tough question. It's a really hard question, and creative people struggle with this all the time. It's something that we struggle with all the time when talking about how to present this show or any of the other shows that we produce, is the expectation that comes along with the audience that's receiving any of the content. And you have to be able to be free enough and feel open enough and creative enough to say, this may be what they're thinking they're going to get, but we're going to twist it and we're going to give them something they didn't expect, and they're going to fucking love it.
Okay, this is what I wanted to do. Punish us for not doing it then. Because you said that the Astral Candescence thing didn't have great rewards. You're right, actually, it didn't have any rewards. But by not having it, you couldn't teleport, and nobody wants to fucking run around.
Yeah, and
so
you could
put
also
a
have
battlefield in there, and instead of giving us rewards, punish us for not doing it.
Chocobo lady could be captured. Now you can't ride your bird.
You can't go into dungeons.
You can't mount. Can't use teleports.
Can't use teleports.
Aetherite network goes down.
That's a great one. That's a small
and it would make sense, because think about, like, if you're the Garleans, what would you try to attack in Alamigo? Try to take their Aether network.
I love that idea.
Offline.
I love that idea, because then that forces you to actually run around. And I mean, a big complaint of ours is that once you get the teleport crystals, there's no reason to ever walk anywhere ever again. Except if a map is sending you out to a single point. That's it. But if you have a contested zone, and yeah, you don't have control of that, if you lose control of that Aetherite network, dude, I like that idea. I like that a lot. I like that idea a lot.
That would be great too, because like for the first 4 months, you're never not going to have it, because everyone's going to be doing the content. But then like 4 months down the line, when like, I don't know, the next patch hits and everyone's off doing something else, and the first time you lose that, you're like, oh shit, why can't I teleport?
Okay, not just that. Here you go. Here's what you do, Square-Enix, because now for what? We're going on 3 expansions or three versions of the game where you have just had the most fucked reward structure. You obviously do not know how to make your players feel like they're rewarded for doing your content. Fine. You don't like that. Let's go in the opposite direction then. Start punishing people for it. Every single event, if you don't do it, you should get punished for it. You don't control Alamigo? Fine. You can't teleport. Kugane's little magical astral ball gets taken away. Guess what? Now you only get half the tomes that you would normally get from dungeons.
How dare you?
Yeah. Punish people for it.
Oh my god, I love that half tomes out of dungeons.
You don't save the NPC? Guess what? You can't spend your tomes.
Even if you hang on, hold up. Even if you just give buffs and then take them away, that's seen as a form of punishment.
Yep.
What if you couldn't activate FC buffs?
Yes.
right? Like, not that big of a deal, right? But like, I'm thinking along that sort of level, right? Like, if having the quote unquote like the equivalent of the astral incandescence gives you a whole bunch of buffs that, you know, make life a whole shit ton easier, and then you lose them, then that is a very compelling reason to try to get that motherfucker back.
You lose Alamigo 3 times in a row, you don't succeed in taking it back, the Garleans get bold, start invading, and they shut down the gold saucer, and you can't go in the gold saucer anymore.
Juxta, I can see it on Juxta's face. He hates this idea. He hates this idea.
Everyone hates this idea, but guess what? It's going to make you do the content.
It is, because I think that's a really good observation there, Kahlo, is that if you don't punish players, if they, I mean, giving a reward is good enough. But there's any reward structure, there's another side of the coin to the carrot, which is the stick. Yeah, like you need to be beaten with the stick every once in a while to be able to understand the value of keeping up on it.
You have to control all the zones, otherwise you can't access the raid.
And that's
like you can't access the zone that Omega's in.
God damn, that's like Phalux all over again.
I love it.
And it hurts, and that's the thing.
It should hurt. That's the stick. It should hurt.
It should hurt. And
Carrot doesn't work.
And the thing is I mean, I could go back and solo Phalux now at this point, but I could never do the campaign work to be able to get the zones back. That would just make me kill myself. That's all I would ever want to do. But,
oh my God. Yeah, I watched my friend log into 11. Not a single region is controlled by, it's all Beastman controlled.
Oh my God.
Like, that is awful.
The Beastmen won.
They did win.
But let's be honest, that is sort of, I mean, as long as we're talking about the other side of the coin, that is the other side of the coin to an event like this, is that as soon as it becomes depopulated, and as soon as like people don't see the value in continuing to stay up on it, then you do have all of these sort of like little punishment things. So that's why I think you have to add them in the form of buffs that then are taken away.
Maybe not, though, because think of how 14 is designed as a game. When the next expansion comes, the old content does become kind of invalidated. Anyway, why not?
You know, Square Enix, once the old content is old enough, they'll just make it so it's super easy to cap. Or
it depends.
Remove the punishment in the first place.
I think it depends on the punishment. Like, I think it depends.
I mean, if like you couldn't access the raid.
Right. Like, yes, that's what I'm I don't think that they would go for that. Or even, I love the idea of, like, you lose control of Alamigo, you can't use the Aetherites in you know,
those zones.
The northeastern section of Eorzea. I would even love to see that extended to
Othard.
Not to Othard, to the rest of Eorzea. All of Eorzea.
They shut down the whole Eorzean Aethernet?
Yes.
Woof.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough.
Come on, that's great.
In Alamigo, the one that we have to keep taking, right? They have some machine that like bombards weird like anti-aether signals that just fucks everything up.
Yeah.
I mean, and like I love that from a lore perspective too, because what a great tool of war that would be. If you're the Garleans and you now have like you've already fought the war with Eorzea, you know kind of where their strengths lie. That'd be a major attack.
Think of actual like military strategy for a second. Yeah. What's the first high value military targets? It's things like utility plants, power plants, water plants, things that provide communication towers,
airports.
Yeah, exactly. And that is a
porn industry,
very much analogous. Porn industry?
What? Take out their porn.
They're going to attack Ul'dah then.
No, if you take out the porn, then people will have nothing to do but fight. Increase the porn.
Ignoring Kahlo and Juxta.
No.
The first thing that you would do is you would take out the essential, you know, sort of like the essential stuff. And the Aethernet very much is that for Eorzea. Mm-hmm. So I like that idea that Xenos is really trying to...
They said you will hate him.
Yeah.
I would hate him.
Taking away our teleports is inhuman.
I'd hate him.
I mean, think of what that actually does. Like, think of what that does as an actual punishment. It's not taking away your mounts. You don't actually have to run everywhere.
No, you can still fly.
But
flying.
Well, not if it's the whole Eorzean battle.
That is
actually,
true.
No flying.
But mounts, though.
Mounts, you can still mount. Yeah.
Mounts are fine, but in Alamigo, they should have anti-air turrets that shoot you down. No flying.
But we do know that we're going to have Aether currents for these new zones as well.
Yeah.
So I like this idea that if we as a community or we as a server are not keeping up on, the battle with the Garleans, that they start doing things that have impacts Eorzea wide.
Oh my God.
That is fascinating to me, because then suddenly you have all of these old zones that have, they're being changed by what's happening on this one battlefront. And I like that concept. It's a very attractive concept to me.
Yeah, if they take over for 5 weeks in a row, they start affecting link pearls.
Oh my God.
And now Limit Break Radio is taken over by Garlean propaganda.
I'm pretty sure that's happened already.
Oh.
Yeah.
When? Dicks.
I know. So no, but I really do like this idea. I like this idea quite a bit.
Yeah, like I said, if they can't pin down a reward structure, come up with a punishment structure.
It's too bad they'll never do it.
SE does seem to be good at punishing me.
Juxta, I think that you're right.
Yeah.
I think that you're right that I don't think that they'll do it. I don't think that they have the guts to do it. I don't think that they would challenge. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, you don't have to stop talking.
Oh no,
I was trying
together.
I was trying to hold.
You announced that you were going to sneeze, and now we're all on this together.
I know, because my voice started to do something weird.
There
It was
ain't no
the
getting
sneeze
off
starting.
this train we're on.
See, because I thought I was going to be able to hold it, and then I didn't, and then it never happened.
But you didn't sneeze, so you didn't.
I know,
hold it.
it's weird.
Now we're all let down.
Well, but my voice would have been all weird and everywhere, and anyway.
What?
My voice would have been My voice would have been all over the place trying to hold the sneeze in.
Yeah, I got that part, but I don't
know. That's what my voice did right there. That's what my voice did when I was trying to hold the sneeze
Juxta
in.
just has some. He can't interpret people unless they're talking
He's fucking
normally.
retarded.
Because I knew what you were saying, and this morning I was talking with my mouth full, and I said the Safari Zone. I hope it doesn't disappoint. And he's like,
That's what you said.
That is not what I said.
You're an idiot.
We weren't even talking about the Safari Zone at all.
Anyway.
How was I supposed to interpret that?
You're so stupid.
And fat.
So's your face.
You have derailed this show now like 4 times.
You're welcome.
No.
Yes, you are welcome.
Can you go back on vacation?
You're welcome.
It was way easier when you weren't here. We could have an actual cogent conversation. Calls were handled in a orderly fashion. What is this? The whole thing's coming off the rails today.
What is even?
Exactly.
Can't.
No.
Can't even.
Nope.
Only odds.
Clearly you can't.
We're at odds.
Do anything.
Raz at odds.
Like your job.
What's my job? Okay, I'll hit a job.
Yeah. Pocket healer.
You know what? Look at a piece of pizza and don't eat it. Just once. Is that possible? Could you do that
what
for me?
What does that do with anything?
Because I don't think you could do it. Just like
I look at pizza all day at work and not eat them.
And it explains.
That is literally my job: is not eating pizza.
I don't know.
I have owned you.
I don't think that's
without
true.
Even trying.
I don't think
offered
that's
him
true.
3 tacos last night, and he turned them down because they had vegetables on them. They had lettuce.
Excuse you, lettuce. Lettuce is not a vegetable.
You're the worst.
It's a grass.
Can someone keep reading, please? Someone move on. Good dear God.
After the release of Heaven's Ward, there was a long break between 3.0 and 3.1. There will be the same kind of break between 4.0 and 4.1. He says, I would love to give our dev team a break, but for 4.1, because we've been planning for it ahead of time and making sure our plans are aligned, we're going to attempt releasing the patch in accordance to our typical patch release cycle. Once our team sees the article that's written up that mentions this, they'll get very weary.
Let me tell you something.
Room laughs.
Let me tell you something.
What are you going to tell us?
Your player base, Square-Enix, is
for
as weary as your dev team is, your audience is twice as weary of your bullshit. So I would not give them
not test us.
Give them the same break that they took between 3.0 and 3.1.
Yeah, we are legion.
Pretty sure the hundreds of thousands of people that play your game, outweighs the handful of people you have developing your game.
Yeah. And I don't want to hear this bullshit in the chat room. Oh, but life is so hard for developers. They work
Respect the developers. Fuck you, Apple Nectar.
They work them 70 hours a week. Yeah, they're paid for all 70 hours. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Do you know how much work I do unpaid, uncompensated, even by you folks? A lot. There's a lot. And I've been doing it for a long time. Like 15 fucking years. I produced something for SiriusXM last week that I didn't get paid for. That I did just because they asked.
Oh, wait, hold on. Yoshi Yuki brings up a great point. We can give the devs a break if they give our monthly subscription a break.
There you go. I'm fine with that.
Fuck that. No, I want my content even faster. I'll pay for that shit.
That is.
But you're not getting it faster.
Well, that's true.
That
okay,
look,
so just unsub then.
If they, no, but I think if they're going to take that time off, then they shouldn't be charging people for access to the game.
Dude, how's that for a bold-ass concept? They come out and say, so Heaven's Word's going to launch. At that point, we're going to go, or not Heaven's Word, but Stormblood's going to launch. We're going to go onto a skeleton crew that'll do emergencies and like fix any major snafus, but we're taking 3 months off, we're taking summer break, and during that time, we're not charging subs.
I would be okay with that.
Every other year they do that, I'm fine with that.
Not to mention, if you're not charging a sub for like 2-3 months, the influx of new players that are going to come and try and play your games.
We'll speak to the value of having some time away to recharge.
Yeah.
We know.
Actually, why not do that right after you drop 3.55C or 5.6 or whatever it's going to be? That last story patch, right? So now you've got the gulf, that big wide gulf in between the very last Heaven's Word content patch and the very first Stormblood content patch. Why not make that time gratis? And then that way, when you do want to take time off after the Stormblood launch, you can say, well, we gave that time to you so that we can now take this time.
So basically, because obviously they have to keep working. They're going to put the expansion out.
Exactly.
But then later on, they can say, all right, you guys got the 3 months after the end of the last expansion for free.
Right.
Now we're taking some time away from the game.
Absolutely.
We'll see you guys in a couple months.
Absolutely. I would be
fine with that.
One of the very last MMOs that has a monthly subscription.
Yeah, do something bold with it.
If you want that subscription base to stick around, you're going to have to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I understand that I sound like a bastard saying work your dev team, keep working them very, very hard. But the thing is that as a fan, as a part of the audience, the expectation has been set that the content cannot dip. The content cannot dip the way that it dipped between A Realm Reborn and Heaven's Word, and indeed after the first patch of Heaven's Word.
Oh my God, yeah. 8 weeks, rallying cry. Like, that was infuriating.
And the thing is that if they did something to acknowledge it, if they did something other than saying, well, we're tired, we need some time off. We understand that. We get that. Everyone's tired. Everyone needs some time off. We understand that. But make it worth our while. Like, the thing is that when I take time off, and this is just because I've worked a series of shitty jobs, but I don't get vacation pay.
Oh, what's that?
Right?
Yeah.
That's the stuff spoken in whispers.
Right?
Rumors.
So
I paid time off.
I don't get. Yeah, that's not a thing for any of the four of our worlds. Okay, and I'm not fine. Whatever, anecdotal evidence, but I'd say that the majority of your audience probably in the same boat. Probably in a similar boat. Not many of them have the opportunity to get paid time off. Okay, so if that's the case, when you take your paid time off, let me tell you, people don't really respond very well to that. People don't respond terribly well to that.
Especially when you feel like you're getting a mediocre game.
Yeah. Or a game that's dipped or dropped in quality. Absolutely.
Yeah, drops in the number of content, drops in the quality of content, and then you tell me stuff like, oh, you know what, last expansion, we gave you too much, so we're cutting back, when we know that you've gotten more of a budget. I don't care how you spend. It doesn't matter if like that's going to external things or you're paying people more. It doesn't matter. When you let out of the bag stuff like that, expectations grow. And then now you're tired and you want to take a break, and we feel like you've been giving us crap. It's not going to go over well.
Yeah.
We're not going to care if you try and play the humanity card.
Yeah. It just sounds like excuse mongering at that point. And, you know, it sucks. I'm telling you, I know that it sucks. You know, I feel like I've been working very hard for a really, really long time. And, yeah, it does wear you down.
Dude,
it exhausts you.
Like, think of how good the shows would be if we took 2 months and disconnected from FF14 and Limit Break Radio and like I said, hey, we'll be back at Stormblood. This is it. We're out. We'll see you guys at Stormblood.
Right.
You know how strong those episodes would be when we came back, rested and recharged?
They'd be amazing.
They'd be incredibly good. And I think that's a good thing, because FF14, if they could legitimately take 2 months away every year or every other year to rest and recharge and have some new ideas, like on the rare week that we take off, and it doesn't happen often, but, you know, Easter or Mother's Day, whatever it happens to be, that week, we have some legit like ideas start flowing in the chat again. Those are the weeks where we talk in the chat.
Yeah.
Like, spoilers, pulling back the curtain a little bit here. We don't talk a ton in our host chat.
No.
Because we're usually, like, when we're not here, we're like, we don't want to think about it. We're just burned out.
Yeah.
So
there is a burnout factor, especially when, you know, we've been doing this for so long. We've been doing this for as long as they've been working on FF14. You know, and the thing is that there is a fatigue that comes along with it.
Definitely.
It's
natural.
Yeah, absolutely. And that comes along with anything. And, you know, the other part of it is that we don't get to solely compensate ourselves from what we do here. And so during weeks that we don't really feel like doing a show, it's not really an option for us. We've still got to figure something out.
Yep.
And, you know, like taking a break is not really that much of an option. But the thing is that if I felt like there was a way that we could make it worth it for our audience if we took a break, I'd be way more open to it. And again, there is a way. I'm not saying Square Enix work to death or work your people to death. What I'm saying is that if you need that time off, take that time off. It is important.
But you got to make it worthwhile to us.
It is. Yeah, that's the thing, is that, you know what, you need to be transparent about it. You need to be open about it. You need to tell us this is why we're doing what we're doing. And as a member of the audience, as a paying member of FF14, yeah, you're gonna have to do something for me. I know that sounds selfish and dickish, but the risk that you run is having that sentiment run dry, like having that positive sentiment for the game and the community run dry among your player base. That is a very real dangerous thing.
Yeah, and I think, like you say, if they made these few months in between the expansions free, people would not feel like that, oh my God, this is awful, there's nothing for me to do, because you're not paying for the game. Like, right. You're like, if it's the middle of April and you're just sitting there like, well, there's nothing to do, but it's free, and maybe I'll log in and, you know, log a couple hours in the game, and then you just feel fine about it.
Right.
And again, you might grab some new people who try it free for those first 3 months and then decide, you know what, I'm going to keep playing.
Yeah, this game's worth playing.
That's the thing. You make it free for everyone for 3 months in a content dip right before you're getting to your new stuff. You are inevitably going to end up hooking some new players. You're inevitably going to end up picking a few up.
It's either that or you got to give a Nero a blowjob every time you want a vacation. It's the only way he's going to be happy. One? Well, per person taking a vacation.
Why just a Nero?
That's how you make him happy.
Yeah.
Well, I want some of that too.
Nobody gives a shit about you. Have we not made this clear?
Yeah, by the way, while I was gone, did I hear you say that lettuce isn't a vegetable?
It's a grass.
Yes?
It's a grass.
It's a grass. Oh, is it?
It's green and it comes from the ground. What else would you call it? It's all like chopped up in like little flaky things.
It's actually mostly water.
What do you think cucumber is?
Huh?
Do you
What's
think
a
cucumbers are
cucumber?
grass?
What's a cucumber?
I don't think he doesn't know what a cucumber
What the fuck
is.
are you talking about? Cucumber?
You know, he's like one of those cats where if we put a cucumber behind him and he saw it, he'd freak the fuck out.
What the fuck is that?
You wouldn't even know how to handle it.
Please don't do that.
Anyway, so let's talk. We've got Dengeki interview to read here as well. But before we do that, I'd like to go to our phone lines and talk to Marcus Ragnar. What's going on, Marcus?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm doing good. You?
Good.
Great.
Thanks for calling Limit Break Radio.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about one of the other things in one of the interviews. I forget which one it was, but it was talking about how they're planning to reduce ability bloat.
Okay.
That was from a few weeks ago, right?
Probably. I don't know.
I couldn't remember if it came up again in a newer one, but it's been sticking in my head because they talked about how they're combining two skills that do the exact same thing on Paladin and Dark Knight and putting in the cross rolls,
Sure.
but also doing the same thing for like the other jobs. And the first example I thought of was for Dark Knight, where they take Blood Weapon and Blood Price, which do the same effective thing, which is give the Dark Knight more MP, and toggling it behind whether or not the other tank stands on, like how Equilibrium works for Warriors. So that way it's now one button that's not locked half the time you're playing your job if you're tanking.
Yeah, you know, that's probably a pretty good point. Where exactly those cross-class abilities, or not cross, but the cross-skill abilities or whatever they are, how exactly they're going to be implemented, I don't know, man. Like, it does seem like it's going to be a pretty big fundamental underpinning change for FF14, but I think that's probably a pretty good example of what they could do.
Well, I'm not talking about just like for the role, the shared role skills. I mean, like for a given job, like say they turn trick attack and sneak attack and have one skill for ninjas. That just changes depending on your position. You know, condensing down skills the jobs have that they're keeping.
Oh, you're talking about melding jobs like Dragoon's Fang and Fury and Wheeling Thrust. It's now one
like
ability, and it just goes off depending on where you're positioned.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're getting at.
Condensing. They said they want to condense skills that do like similar things.
So are you talking like if you like the positional would be the determinant factor on whether or not the third
or which stance
ability
you're
would
in.
proc, or
Or you
I
like
get
it stance toggled like
Taking
Equilibrium for Warriors, because in tank stance it heals them, and the one that gives them Fell Cleave, it gives them TP.
So what ends up happening if you're not like, okay, like you've got one one ability hits from the back, one hits from the side. What happens if you're hitting it from the front? I know that's weird terminology, but what happens? What happens if you're doing that? Like, does the third skill not proc? Does it not proc as potently? Like what?
Well, it's basically just combining down the skills, because I would assume for like the Scalia example for the fourth Dragoon combo, it just doesn't get the full potency if used from the front.
Right, you get whatever would be the weakened potency for it.
The more important thing to recognize here, and Marcus, I don't know if this is something you intended or not, but you brilliant bastard. All right, so I'm going to use ninjas as the most prime example, right? I don't give a shit about positionals. I'm going to stand behind it the whole fucking time, right? If you combined They're just stupid ninjas! If you combined Armor Crush and Aeolian Edge, right? One does more damage from behind, the other one from the side. But you have to do Armor Crush to keep your Huton going. If it was one ability, and if you're behind it, it's Aeolian Edge, and if you're beside it, it's Armor Crush, you now have to do positionals.
It forces scrubs to do their positionals.
Oh my gosh.
This is bullshit.
I know. Total bullshit.
Is that sort of what you're thinking, Marcus?
About along those lines, I was struggling on what you would combine down on Ninja, but that actually makes the most sense.
Yeah,
because
I really
it's
like
refreshing. Huton and Aeolian is like windy sounding, so you're keeping up your tornado by spinning behind the enemy.
Okay, no, so this is fine, Kahlo. Then instead of standing behind the mob, you just stand to the side.
Except then it's always Armor Crush, which does a little bit less damage than the Aeolian Edge does from behind.
Meh.
It actually does. It does kind of force you to think, and it's sort of like a paring down of abilities. Mm-hmm. It's making the things that are really kind of redundant at this point, and condensing them down. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad suggestion, and it could be very much the way that it ends up working. I don't know. We'll end up seeing. Marcus, thanks for the call, man.
No problem.
All right. If you want to call Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. We'd like to hear from you. Let's talk about this Dengeki interview.
Sure. Dengeki asks, will adjustments to the substats that have been touched on previously, such as parry and accuracy, be in patch 4.0? How will they change? And Yoshida says, there will be changes to parts of the main stats and many of the substats like parry, accuracy, block rate, and piety. Because this kind of explanation requires a lot of detail, I want to use a letter from the producer live as a chance to go into more detail. Please wait for more details until then.
I mean, this is one of the most commonly asked questions at this point.
What are you doing to parry?
Yeah, parry and accuracy are both fairly underwhelming stats. They don't really do much in overall calculation or min-maxing. It's just...
Their butt smell.
Parry's garbage.
They really kind of are. And it's... there's a lot of speculation out there right now whether or not they're going to continue forward having these, even having these stats,
dude. At all. Not being a tank, I never really paid any attention to why parry is garbage. Having now had it explained to me, I saw people talking about it in Free Company the other night.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that sucks.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
It really is, and I don't understand why they thought it was a good idea.
No,
from a design standpoint, when you really understand the underpinnings, you go, holy shit, that is a useless stat. Why do we ever put this on gear?
Yeah, it can't crit, it can't be blocked at all, and there's a third one that it can't be before it even gets to parry.
Right.
Like, what?
Can't miss or something?
Yeah, it has to, can't crit, can't miss, can't be blocked, and then parry has a chance to affect.
Yeah.
And even then, like, you have like a 1% if you have like the best gear or something, retarded.
It's terrible.
It's trash.
It really is terrible. So, I mean, even if they do a readjustment on the stat, that's one possibility. I think that's probably the most likely possibility, but they could just remove it altogether. If they removed it, what do you think that they could replace it with that, wouldn't be completely broken?
Flat damage resistance?
That's not bad. That's pretty tanky.
I mean, that's the most basic thing that you can put into like a defensive stat.
Yeah.
It's just taking less damage.
I mean, it would be a matter of removing parry as a stat and creating a new stat. I don't know what
they would just rename parry into like
durability or something like that.
There you go. Great word. Durability. Toughness.
Yeah, endurance, something like that.
Not getting hurt as badly.
Fortitude.
I mean, does a straight damage down, a damage reduction down, like that, does a stat like that end up changing the stat weights that you would want on DPS gear?
Probably. I mean, it depends on how much you get per point. Theoretically,
yeah.
I'm not sacrificing too much crit hit to make it hurt less when I don't dodge properly.
But I mean, like, what you could end up with a situation is like one set of gear that is all offensively based, and then if you wanted like a solo set of gear to take with you into Palace of the Dead or something like that, then you would have this more defensively weighted gear where we know, look, parry doesn't do shit in that department. You want more determination than you want parry if you were going to do something like that. But I think a straight flat damage reduction, that is a much more attractive route to go for something like that.
So they'd have to be real careful about putting out things that other classes can equip.
Right, exactly. You've got to think about it in the terms of the balance, because I think that you would
Heaven forbid that non-tanks be able to equip a defensive stat and not feel bad about it.
Well, but what about mages? I mean, it would either be a stat that you would have to completely keep off mage gear altogether, which then it brings questions up about, how does the system calculate things like rando stats, out of Diadem. But if you don't have this stat pairing on any mage gear at all, then I think that, that is maybe a little bit unfair to mages, but if it is put on mage gear, then I do think that ends up impacting the meta in some form or fashion.
At least in PvP, at least.
Oh, absolutely in PvP.
I feel like the best way to do that would just be have like a separate set of gear that's only on jewelry, where if you want the defensive parry stat, the new defensive parry stat, to be on the defense or on like a defensive set of jewelry.
Yeah. Or what if you could only materia meld it on?
That might be an idea too.
Like, what if it never is latently on a piece of gear, but you can materia meld it?
That'd be a great way to limit it.
Oh, well, and it would also be a great way to start Can you imagine those materia prices, though? Can you imagine the market for that? Holy shit, if you thought crit materia was ridiculous back in the day.
Oh, yeah, it is. Sure is.
I should start buying materia, Perry materia.
Because they're all going to get converted over into the new one.
It's getting changed right now.
Oh,
it's
no,
cheap.
no. They couldn't do that. I don't think they could do that. I don't think that they could do a straight. They would have to add new like a new type of materia. It couldn't just be.
They just straight up changed the stat. Why would the Perry? If they just remove Perry and put in something in its place,
I don't think you can. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think you can. I think you would have all the gear up to 3.0 gear have Perry on it, because I don't think in terms of, like in terms of the way that stuff is calculated, you can straight up remove Perry. But you can add a flat reduction down.
He's right, because then you'd have to go back and check all the previous gear and make sure that it's tuned correctly with whatever the new stat is and the stat values are.
Exactly. We're not talking about removing parry or accuracy. I think we're talking about having it supplanted with a better secondary stat. And I think that would be the better move. That would be the smarter move at this point. Because if you've got to redesign your entire system from the ground up, that you're right, Juxta. If you just take parry out and replace it with something else, those stat weightings become drastically different. And some of those gear, the gear choices would become drastically different. And I think that you need to be able to maintain that balance. So you've got to add this stat weighting on top of the gear that we already have.
Counterpoints. PS4 limitations. Can't handle a new secondary stat.
That would be so disappointing to hear.
That would be so disappointing. But the thing is, though, is that, like if you just de-emphasize parry, right? Because parry doesn't play a...
How much more de-emphasized could it get?
But that's what I'm saying. Parry doesn't play enough role in the meta or in the stat calculations to even make that much of a difference. So if you just simply downplay parry's, space in the marketplace or allocation on gear or material or whatever, if you just start downplaying that and supplanting it with a stat that is better, that is the best way for Square Enix to move forward and not disrupt their current balance and stat weightings.
God, it's so weird for parry to suck so much, having come from 11, where parry was god tier.
Yeah, if you could level it.
If you could get it leveled up, it was like guard. If you could actually get that leveled up, it was so powerful.
Yeah, but between I think we I think
that's like when auto attacks were worth something.
I think Thief had A+ parry. It was high.
Not A+.
It was very high between the parry and the evasion skill.
You guys definitely
Thieves were bomb.
You guys ducked a lot of damage for sure. I don't know. I mean, like, for as much as people talk about how bad parry is and how much of the devs...
A- parry for Thief.
It was high, man.
Yeah, it was really high.
But your shield skill was F, so fuck you.
I think it was C.
F.
Oh, whatever. No, who uses...
but honestly though, I think that's the best way for Square Enix to do something like that, is not to subtract anything in that area, but to instead add and encourage people to use it in a different function or use that a secondary stat in a different function or fashion. So what else we got here?
Rare eastern animals such as the lesser panda and tiger appear to exist, but will we meet the real deal? With the adventuring continent being different, I think a lot of things within the monster ecosystem will have a lot of differences. Lesser pandas actually are relatively ferocious, but in the world of Eorzea, hitting those cute pandas would be kind of awkward, right?
No.
Oh.
I like beating on cute things.
Please see for yourself.
Us kill chocobos.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, by the way.
When are we getting Moombas? I want Moombas. Please see for yourself what kinds of animals or monsters you may encounter.
Actually, they mentioned that in a recent interview. Moombas
They mentioned Moombas?
Yeah, they're coming after the Dragoon Wyvern pets.
You stupid idiot.
You walked right into that one.
Sorry, not sorry.
All right. Will there be any new company projects that take the place of airships or use it as a means of tackling new content? Since swimming and diving has been announced, can we see submarines next? Or will we see submarines next?
Fuck you.
There are plans for a large update in the 4.x series for free company projects. Submarines could be a possible choice. However, for what will become of it for now, just use your imagination.
Fuck off.
Submarines?
I mean, again...
Yellow one?
Again, the adventuring... the exploration missions were so intrinsically attached to diadem that
so intrinsically.
Well, they were. It's just that Diadem was not well liked.
Right. But it wasn't even that much of a barrier for entry because it like, when have you ever not been able to go into Diadem because you didn't meet the fucking, you know what I mean? Like, it was like they made so many caveats. They were like, yeah, you need to do the exploratory missions to be able to go into Diadem to have the place mapped, but yeah, you can also join if this. Oh yeah, you can join if that. And you know, they caveated it so much that anyone could join. And it really felt like, well, then what was
Why did I just build that airship?
Yeah, what was the point of this whole
I
shit?
have got a large functioning airship in my house.
It should have
that
been
we built.
If you didn't have an airship, you could go into Diadem, but that island, that's all. It's just that one island. That first island you go to, that's it. And by having an airship and unlocking the other islands, you could go around.
If you have to use the Ishgard airship, you have to go to Disneyland. But if you had your own airship, you could go to Disney World.
Well, Disney World is way better.
But the thing is like, okay, if they're gonna make another one of these, can we make it have a point? Like, can we make it have some sort of tangible connection to what the fuck we're doing as players in the game, and not just have it be this random side thing? Like, there are so many just random side things that it's optional whether or not you want to participate in, that it so much of the game ends up feeling goddamn pointless.
I feel like what they need to do is, instead of worrying about making like another iteration of Diadem, just come up with something that actually has a use, and, you know, turn this game into some type of assisted suicide machine.
What? Oh my goodness!
What? Too far?
Not too far. Just a big jump.
Really abrupt.
Yeah.
You could have led up to it a little bit. Be like, instead of having like not a system, maybe like have like a knife that pops out of your computer, then you can slowly put your wrists to it, and then you can kill yourself.
Ha!
What the fuck was that?
It was the guy from Futurama, whose name I can't remember. The crazy robot. What's his name? Roberto?
I bet a Nero would know his name.
Yeah, Nero would know his name.
Hold on, I have a drop for this.
Okay. You gotta find it though. That kind of takes the wind out of your drop.
You're a wind out of your drop.
Soon after the launch. You for that? Piece of shit. Hey, what's the crazy robot in Futurama that tries to stab people all the time?
Bender?
No.
Well,
that's what? Shut the fuck up, Twitch chat, you idiots.
Oh my god, damn it.
Is it Roberto?
I think it is Roberto.
Okay.
You're right.
Yeah.
It is. I think it is Roberto.
Roberto or Roboto?
Roberto.
Well, that would be so much more funny if it was Roboto, because then it's a bot, but it's also like Robert.
Soon after the launch of 4.0. Of course, it seems many players will try Samurai and Red Mage, but for tanks and healers, will there be an incentive for them to continue playing those jobs or something like that? For tanks, we have an elite mount already being prepared. However, as I said during the keynote speech, looking at the data from Heaven's Ward, this old song and dance again, not many people switch over. Of course, after the main job is maxed, I believe people will level new jobs, but as of now, with Deep Dungeon and Fates, I think solely leveling through the instance dungeons will not happen. Instead, I think Deep Dungeon will be more overcrowded. I don't know how it could be much more overcrowded. You know what Quarry Mill looks like these days? It's more busy than Idleshire.
Yeah, no,
that place is slammed. I was leveling on my alt to try and make Diadem like feel worth doing.
Yeah,
because I felt maybe if I need the 265 gear, it won't suck as much. Spoilers, it doesn't.
Fuck you.
No, it still sucks. Okay. I went to Quarry Mill thinking it was going to be dead, and no, that place is slammed.
Yeah,
like that place is still full of people doing that shit.
Yeah,
queue times are still way low. It's great.
And
well, the queue times are low is because the requirement is 4 people.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's great.
Yeah.
So you can put in there with 3 healers.
Of course, the queue time is low.
I got put in with 4 DPS a bunch of times. 1 to 100 flies by with 4 DPS.
How do you not die?
We don't suck.
Yeah, exactly. How do you not die?
Yeah, you suck intrinsically.
Yeah, you suck, and then other people suck. So there's so much sucking going around. Oh wait, you're really good at that. Never mind, that makes sense.
Not hard. I don't know. Do you die when you go in there?
Well, I don't suck, so I guess
there
it's
you
hard
go.
for me.
I mean, past 100, but you can't go into it with a random group past 100, right? You have to have a pre-made?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right, yeah, that's what I thought.
Whatever, just power level and Palace of the Dead.
That's what it's saying, yeah. In the new city, Kagane, will there be a new corresponding grand company or organization? I spoke about it during the keynote speech, but while Kugane is a port city belonging to Hingashi, Hingashi itself is currently under an isolation policy. What's happening right now with the country of Hingashi will be told to some extent in Stormblood, so please wait until then. With that said, there is no formal Grand Company-like group in Kugane. In any case, there is a group, but nothing which the player can belong to.
Think it's
to no one's surprise ever.
Think it's like some kind of Garlean surrogate.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
There's no.
Yeah,
there could be Garlean influence over there.
I think I like the idea that after what happened to Doma, that Kugane is just like, fuck that ain't happening to us, so everybody just say the fuck away.
Straight up xenophobes.
Yeah.
I see. I think if you watch the destruction of Doma across that strait that they've got there, that you would just go, okay, I accept our new overlords and masters. You can come. Just don't destroy our shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys can come and rule us, but just don't do what you did to Doma.
Yeah, don't burn us down.
You can take our cake and eat it too, but don't throw it on the ground.
I can see it going kind of either way.
Yeah, that would actually be really cool if we get there and they're just kind of like, they're not real, like, they're vassal states effectively.
Yes.
Yes. They're not necessarily being actively ruled by the Garleans, but they don't get to do anything without the Garlean.
Like approval. a puppet government.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
I think that would be really cool. I think that actually has some really interesting narrative hooks in it.
We're kind of like the underground resistance there, where it's like, but we can't get caught because we will just be served up on a platter.
But here's the thing, though, is they can't make that like an intrigue plot point. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we find out that dun 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 dun, the Garleans are actually running Kugane.
No, that should be like very clear once we get there.
Yes, exactly. It should be very clear, and it should be this like sort of like oppressive state thing that's happening, and that it is clearly being directed by the Garleans, and that Kugane, whether they're willing or not, is complicit in whatever is going on.
They don't want to be nuked.
Yeah, exactly.
According to the internet, the Warriors of Light are afraid of new teleport costs. Will moving between continents be expensive? First of all, did anyone else hear this complaint or worry? I've never heard this.
Only at this particular moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, in its own way, moving between continents will cost a considerable amount of gil, but be that as it may, we are adjusting it right now so it does not exceed 999 gil. So, because it's distance based, right?
So it's
so it's really far.
So it's cheap.
So pointless then.
Yeah.
Do you want it not to be pointless? Teleport to Kugane being 20,000 gil.
You know what? Yes.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, if someone's trying to go from Ul'dah to Kugane, yeah, 20K, motherfucker. Walk it.
Remember what you used to have to do if you were in Juneau.
Teleport holla, can I have it? You can have this, 3K.
Okay, let's say you were in Juneau and you wanted to get to Sandoria.
Ride the airship. Wait 12 minutes.
That's right. You go down. You hope that you catch the airship while it's docking. If it's not,
you run into the wall.
Oh god!
And go take a dump.
Oh god! Yeah. Talking to the NPC upstairs, having be like, the ship is now departing. That meant you could get this close to it.
Yeah.
And miss it. You could never catch it once you got that message.
Excuse me, flee.
Yeah, if you had flea, I guess you could still catch it.
But I mean, like, if you think about because that's the thing, is that, you have to very cleverly use travel restriction in MMOs to be able to make your player base feel like they are moving towards something.
Yeah.
And that's why I like the idea of, if the Garleans had control of the Aethernet, being able to shut it down and forcing players to go back into the world. I think that's pretty compelling. I think that's a pretty compelling thing to force your player base to do, even if it's in the newer zones.
Yeah.
So, but the idea that it's only ever going to cost a 1K, it just means that teleporting anywhere and everywhere is just negligible.
Well,
that's all.
Tom Berrien suggests like they made us wait for an airship or a ship and to move between continents, and then you can teleport once you're on the continent. That would make sense to me.
That would make a lot more sense.
Especially with the big chunk of Othard in the center being still inaccessible. That would make sense to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tell us about the Samurai Limit Break. Perhaps it's Midare Setsugeka? I think that's that.
Ban Dengeki. He's being a weeb.
I think I have to. Well, I have to ban you for being a weeb.
Yeah, you pronounce that way too well.
Yeah, it's pronounced Midar Kugekeki.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I unweebified it for you.
I see that.
Showcasing a portion of the new job's limit breaks will most likely occur with the release of the new benchmark, I think, so please wait for that. At any rate, to keep it under wraps as to whether or not its limit break, Midare Setsugeka does not exist. Or it does exist. Wait, what? At any rate, to keep it under wraps, I think he's giving no answer there.
Yeah.
No, he's saying that the move Midare Setsukugu is a samurai move. If it's a limit break, maybe. If it's just a normal move that they do, it's a maybe.
Okay.
Together with Samurai, what are the chances that Gilgamesh will reappear? Rumor has it that a skilled Yojimbo is in the East or something like that. Come to think of it, we haven't seen Greg in a long time. Huh. I sure hope he's doing well.
If instead of Hildebrand, we could have Greg going around doing Greg things.
I'd be okay.
I'd be okay with an expansion dedicated to Greg.
Yeah, I'd be okay with
I miss
this.
Greg.
I would actually be okay with Greg quests being brought in under the umbrella of Hildebrand.
Yeah, instead of
Yeah.
or with.
No. Not. I mean, like if you know how they have the whole like you they set up the whole scene. If they're doing that, but everything is more focused on Greg, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So
totally fine with that.
That's he's adopting an automaton, right?
No.
That's the problem then. You guys go, oh yeah, bring Greg back. But if they do, that's what's going to be. He's going to be doing some stupid shit that nobody cares about.
You're probably right.
No, I want them to bring back Greg in a good manner.
Okay.
They didn't want to bring back Hildebrand. That is so much obvious with fucking Scholasticate.
Yeah.
But we forced them upon it. I want them to bring back Greg, but I want them to want it.
Want.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yoshi says he hopes he's doing well, so.
I think that's a hint. We're checking back in with him.
Good.
Shitty.
But no, I understand your point, Juxta, is that we should not, as players, be forcing their hand at whether or not they're putting in Greg quests.
Exactly.
But I think that Gilgamesh and the possibility of Yojimbo having something to do with this quest, and having the land of Othard and Kugane and all of that, it definitely seems more fitting to be working with or in conjunction with Greg as opposed
If
to...
we get a Yojimbo, I don't want it to be in like a silly Greg quest. I'd rather have Yojimbo be like some, badass character
No,
that we have
that's
to go
it.
up against.
That's it. We're going to see Greg. Greg's going to be...
mistaken for Yojimbo?
No. Sorry. Greg is going to be the Hildebrand, quote unquote, where he's like the silly-ish character, and then Yojimbo will be the foil.
I could see that.
I just feel like it's such a waste of Yojimbo.
What the fuck? Why? What the fuck do you want for Yojimbo?
Yeah, what exactly
a
do you want?
badass samurai?
Oh, not just a badass samurai. Give him come up. We need new primals or whatever, right?
Don't make him a primal. Don't make him a fucking...
Really?
You really you want him to be a fucking primal?
No, I don't want him to just be, oh, here's the Yojimbo battle, fight him, and then that's it.
He wants him to be a Stinian inside of the battle.
I would like Yojimbo to be more than just a foil for Greg. I think that Yojimbo can carry his own storyline, similar to what Hydrus could have been had they not offed him so quickly.
No.
I can't believe Kyle just wants Yojimbo as a primal.
I mean,
That's
I could see
fucking
Yojimbo
terrible.
as being like the one taking us up to the sky gods or whatever they're actually going to be called this time around. Him being the one that is involved with that.
What, so like a ukulele?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like a ukulele. The guy who
That's
just
even worse
sets all
than
that
being a
shit
primal.
up. I agree.
God damn it.
It is.
I'm glad Nero is smart with me and wanting him to be the foil. Thank you for that.
Yeah, Nero, you're agreeing with Juxta Position.
Who is always right, thank you very much.
Who thinks that transsexuals go to an underground, abandoned warehouse fight sex club.
Who thinks that lettuce isn't a vegetable?
Yeah.
It's a grass. It's already cut up.
He's shockingly right about some things, and
I
on the
know, and it hurts.
on the Yojimbo thing, he's actually right. Because it would not. If he's a primal, it's dumb. If he's, a
teleport NPC,
yeah, dumb. Right? Like I don't think he can support his own portion of the quest or storyline. We've never seen him. He has so little to do with Final Fantasy. The only Final Fantasy game that Yojimbo has ever been in is 10.
They could easily tie him into Othard lore.
Yeah, but why do you want another fucking... That's just going to be another goddamn samurai. And who cares at that point?
we have Gengetsu guy who's going to be bringing us into Othard.
Gotetsu? I think he's going to be a monk.
What?
What?
The big dude that we saw next to
Are you out of your fucking mind?
The big dude that was staying next to Yugiri with her hawk?
Yeah, are you retarded?
I think he's going to be a monk.
You're fucking
You're retarded.
stupid.
You're stupid
Juxta.
as shit.
Jesus
Holy fuck.
Christ.
How did you guys reverse roles for this episode?
You're like the stupidest person in the world. You're dumber than I am.
How do you think he's
You
a
stupid
monk?
piece of crap.
By the way, the monk NPC is Yida wearing the red dress. That's who the monk NPC is. There's no way that Gotetsu is a fucking monk.
Yeah, we'll see.
Jesus Christ.
We'll see. You're so fucking wrong. It's not even funny.
Isn't he? Because that's who already confirmed to be a samurai?
Yeah, he kind of is. That's the funny thing. Is I'm pretty sure he's confirmed to be the samurai NPC.
All right, well, show me the confirmation, and I'm wrong.
We're looking for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that big, stupid picture with all the people on it.
Anyway, let's read a couple of emails before we take off here. By the way, if you want to call the show, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord or Limit Break Radio on Skype. Love to hear from you. If you want to correct us on any of the, I'm sure, plethora of wrong shit that we said, feel free to give us a call. Exactly. See, Grandorg is piping up in there. Gotetsu's a samurai. He has a katana, you dumb shit.
First email.
Okay, so does Xenos. Okay, that's why we're getting samurai.
First email is from Katsu Kobashi. Apologizes for English is not their first language.
Then get them off.
Which means they probably have better English than most of the English people that email us.
I don't give a shit. I don't want to hear it.
Hello. Just to talk on the topic that Joe Never Fails talks about in the latter half of episode...
Can you read this in English?
In English?
This is going to get
I think
offensive.
I'm going to have to defer to our resident racist for that, Juxta.
Oh, I thought you were our resident
I was gonna
racist.
say, why are you deferring to me? That's you stupid idiot.
The leader of the Callow Klux Klan.
That's right.
Not the leader of the Callow Klux Klan.
Yeah, I think that there's an entire season of the FFFL that begs to differ.
That I wasn't here for.
That's not objectively true at all.
I'm having a hard time getting back to PvP, especially now on a competitive level. Disabled chat pretty much made solo queue rank 4v4 non-existent. Season 3 is the first season I actually made an attempt to rank up in solo queue, wanting to achieve the goal to be in the top 100. Thankfully, I was able to make it to the top 50 as a healer. The top 100 hasn't changed in players for 3 or 4 weeks, showing that everyone that is in the current top 100 isn't even bothering with 4v4 right now. I kind of feel like that is a problem. As for Season 4, I'm not exactly sure I'll adapt to this new feature in solo 4v4 because of disabled chat. I know most people would say use Discord voice communication, but I can't communicate via voice since I am a mute. Best I could do is listen to other people's commands. A lot of people rage and say things they don't mean in PvP. This isn't new. I've dealt with it plenty of times over, but I never went out of my way to let it discourage me. Nor have I felt the need to submit a ticket to a GM because my feelings were hurt. My question to you guys is, do you guys feel or have heard disabled chat in PvP actually attract them more in PvP or not?
No.
I haven't heard anything about PvP other than that no one's doing it for about 3 months.
Yeah, which is probably a combination of both that and the Garo stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone was very focused on doing the Garo stuff. There was even a article that said that Garo was the reason that PvP died, and I don't think that that's fair at all. I think
I think it kept it interesting.
Yeah, it kept it alive.
It did.
For a little bit.
It kept it on life support, and I think what Katsu says here is very apt, and I think that Joe had brought up the same observation, that removing the ability to chat has really done incredible damage to the player versus player scene. The amount of people that are queuing for the feast or even trying to be remotely competitive for the feast is on the level of Lords of Verminion these days. I mean, it is bad. It's very, very bad. And I think that Square-Enix needs to look at that and do a judgment assessment and say, was this the best call?
Yeah, let's roll it back.
I think that they should roll that back, and I think that the thing that they should be doing is that they shouldn't be tasking their GMs with content calls, that they should be tasking their GMs only with concerns of hacking or cheating that are going on in PvP. Not my feelings were hurt, not what this guy called me, not this guy, told me to go jump off a bridge, or this guy told me to open up the vein in my right wrist. None of that. Like, none of that is an acceptable GM report. But cheating or some kind of rule violation, something like that, that is probably worth a GM call. And obviously you do need some kind of system to be able to sort through this, but this was objectively a bad call. This was objectively a bad impact for their community on the whole, and I'm with Katsu that they need to roll this back.
Definitely.
Cool. Good
Agreed.
Good addition to the conversation.
I don't care about PvP. Do you?
I mean, I might more if it was an equitable environment, but that's fucked.
No, that's fair. I mean, there's no circumstance where I care
the fact
about PvP.
The fact that you can't communicate is just, I don't know. I really do think that it took it took a degree of freedom out of the game and out of the play style, and I can understand why people are not into it.
Well, I'll straight up say I was wrong on this one because I didn't think it would have that big of an impact. It didn't seem like it would be that important to me if the ability to issue commands was still there.
Well, like I said, I think it was compounded by the fact that all these Garo people that don't necessarily care about winning or losing are just kind of doing it to try and get their event gear or their achievements.
That could be part of it. Like, now I can't communicate, and I'm getting a bunch of fuck idiots in here.
And you
who
have
don't know
no
what they're
idea if
doing.
the people that you're with do they suck because they can't communicate, or are these Garo people? There's no way to even tell.
It's frustrating. If I was Joe Never right now, I'd be very frustrated with the way that the first 3 seasons of the Feast have been implemented, and I really do think that that Square-Enix could benefit from going back and really looking at the numbers and seeing what this kind of thing, what kind of impact it had.
Had such a promising start, and I feel like this just neutered it.
It really did.
Yeah. Joe, you want to take the next email?
Sure. Hey, same topic. Hey, I was just listening to the discussion on PvP, the new and improved hosts and Nika were discussing, and its relevance in PvE content, and I couldn't help but think if you want people to play it, why not make it so you can get stuff for the relic weapon? Oh, God. Say once you reach a certain step of your relic and you can get tokens from PvP that you can trade for sands or some other item for your relic requires. Just don't make it casual. Make people want the win. Make it so when you play Frontlines, if you win, you get enough tokens for a sand or whatever. Let's say it costs 6 of these PvP tokens. If you take first, you get 6. Second place, you get 3, and last place gets 1. That means that if you can consistently win, you'll get this step done in 80 rounds of PvP max. That's fucking quick compared to the other routes, but it means you can't depend on those PvP dog fuckers sitting in matches doing nothing. You know who you are, you garbage ninjas. You're going to want to get that W because you don't want to farm 480 matches when you could get it done in 1/6 of the time. Just my thoughts on how PvP could learn to get good. Shout out to Lute Obama from episode 100, always a fan of your terms in office, but if you're saying you want to grab Nika's princess spot, I think you got more in common with Trump than you think. Later, XFon cast of Fairy Server.
Thanks, XFon.
What just happened?
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
My call-in that I did on 100.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Jeez.
Yeah, that was inappropriate.
Shows you how much I go back and listen to shows that I wasn't on.
Do you listen to shows that you were on a lot?
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
all the time.
Technically, he edits, so...
Oh, well, that's fair.
He used to furiously masturbate down the hallway screaming.
That's right. Oh. I've got to listen to myself to be able to get it up enough.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's a pretty interesting suggestion. I think that you'll see a lot of people tapping out on that step, though. That sounds... I mean, look, relic steps already sound terrible, but 80 wins in PvP, that actually sounds like a lot. I would rather just do what I did with Sands, which is wait for your leaves to, pop up, then go do those big things that drop the amber vialkin. Yeah. Now,
way easier.
Now, the thing is that if it was an option, if that was one of the multiple things that you could do, because Square Enix really does seem to be into giving you options for ways that you can complete your anima or your relic weapon, that would probably be okay. then I'd probably be okay with
Yeah, that could work.
if it was a possible way to get an item that you needed for an upgrade, that would be fine.
And I like the idea of, like, if you are winning these PvP matches, it's the fastest way to get it done.
Yeah.
Like, it is faster than doing it any other way if you're winning consistently.
That's fair.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, one more and we'll get out of here.
All right, one more. This one is from Carrie Elsinashi of the Goblin server. Hello, host of LBR. Congratulations on reaching episode 100. It's been a ton of fun so far, and I can't wait to see what this new era of LBR will bring now that we've got 3 new hosts. Ha! Joke's on you.
We fired them.
It's been quite the ride listening to you guys for all these years. I've been listening through both the FF11 and FF14 eras, and you never fail in bringing quality entertainment to the workday after you put out the weekly updates.
Well, then I'm sorry for today's episode.
Hey, today was our best episode we've ever done.
I agree.
I don't think that's
As
true.
we look to the future with Stormblood, I had an idea. Since 2.0 and 3.0, Bards and Machinists have had that empty offhand slot. With these upcoming changes to the battle system, why not add in an ammunition item to fill it? Now, I don't want to see the ammo counting days of FF11 return. The ever-present need to craft or buy ammo kept me poor in 11. Just something to augment what your weapon does. Hope you all keep having fun together, and I'll see episode 200. First of all, don't think that, you know, you fucking bards and machinists are only fucking people out there with an empty offhand, okay? When are they going to give ninjas the ability to equip 2 different things so that we can glamour both daggers, huh?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
You don't even have to worry about balance at that point.
Okay. I mean, maybe for a glamour option.
Ninjas, that's gay.
But I mean, like, you know, what they're asking for is some kind of ammo that you can equip.
Something like what grips were or what the bomb core
well,
was.
but that was just adding more stats, and I think that you could even do things like give it elemental weighting.
That's what it sounded like they were asking for. Can I
Yeah.
get, like, fire ammo or something like that?
Yeah, and that, but there is no real big elemental wheel. There's not
No,
really
it
a
would
weakness
just
system.
it would be a glamour thing. Now your
It really
shots
would be a glamour
look like
thing.
they're fire related or ice related or lightning related.
What if I could get, like, this ammo that put the enemy to sleep, and I could just spam that for, like, 3 years? Oh, wait. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Sleep bolts.
And really, the only job that uses that offhand slot is Paladin. So really what we should be asking is, can we delete Paladin's shield slot?
I like that idea.
How about can we just delete Paladin?
I like that idea too.
They kind of already done that anyways.
Yeah, they neutered it. Does
And
that count?
that's actually better because now the paladins just sit
Damn.
around being like, oh, you make us better.
Stupid Paladins.
Damn.
Harsh.
Anyway, all right. Thanks for the calls. We appreciate it. Thanks for the emails. We love hearing from you. LimitBreakRadio.com is the website. Hosts at Limit Break Radio. If you want to send some emails, maybe we'll read it in a couple of weeks. Give us a call while we are live. We are one of the very few podcasts that allow you to call the air while we are live, and we'll hang out and talk to you and make fun of you and bullshit with you. And you can be a part of the show. And we love that interaction. So we always want to encourage people to interact through calling, through emailing, adding us on social media at Limit Break Radio on Twitter and Facebook. I'm going to say this once again. I said it more towards the beginning of the show. I also said it towards the end of Final Encountercast. But I have to apologize. My energy is not where it normally is. I feel like I'm getting sick. Like I feel like I'm getting either a flu or a cold, and so I have definitely not been at the top of my game tonight. So I do want to apologize to everyone that I feel like I could have done better, but I don't know what these motherfuckers' excuses are. But I feel like I could have done better today.
I did perfectly.
You lead the show. If you suck, we all suck.
We had a what are you talking about? We had a great episode. We laughed our asses off this episode.
You're welcome.
Shut up, Ascalia.
Anyway,
Go make me a sandwich.
But I do want to thank all of you, all 211 of you still hanging out with us for the show. I saw that number get as high as 311 there today. So thank you guys for hanging out. We appreciate it. We always appreciate you hanging out. If you have some dick shit to say on YouTube, go ahead and say it. We don't really give a fuck.
Some dick shit.
Some dick shit. If you have some dick shit to
Or
vomit
some
out.
shit dicks.
That's,
you want to see them.
We read comments like that on our twins.
Shit dicks are
wrong podcast.
Shit dicks are exactly the types of people that end up commenting on our YouTube videos. So if you are a shit dick and you want to put some dick shit on our YouTube pages, please go feel free to do that. But know that we have never really given a fuck. So if you thought this show was bad today, just wait till next week, because it's going to be even worse.
We promise.
We promise. We will be able to keep that promise.
Can we derail harder than we did?
Obviously.
No, I don't think we can. Today was brutal for derails.
Between leg capes and Peenie packs.
Leg capes and Peenie packs.
And the sex cage matches. No,
I think we've got an episode title right there.
Challenge accepted.
Leg capes and Peenie packs. That's the name of the fucking episode.
That's our title.
Jesus Christ. Ballin'. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. We do appreciate it. This show is supported by your support. Shockingly enough that there is any of that left. Patreon.com/Limit Break Radio is how you support this show. We ask that you would, if you enjoy the show, if you listen every week, if you download the podcast off iTunes, if you tune in every week on Twitch, or if you listen on YouTube. We invite you to head on over to Patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. Support the show. You help keep this on the air. You help keep this every week. And you help keep the same funny-ass people delivering this show every single week. So make sure that your support is counted among the many, many LB Army members over at patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. And guys, of course, I want to mention that if you haven't been, please consider checking out our new show, Checkpoint Radio. It's not available as a podcast just yet, but it is live streamed on Thursdays at a couple of different radio stations. You can find out more about that over at checkpointradio.com, but it is also live tonight, Sunday nights, starting at 10 p.m. Mountain Time over on ESPN Phoenix, 6:20 a.m. So if you want 2 more hours of Checkpoint, 2 more hours of, Limit Break Radio produced radio, talk radio about video games, then head on over, bookmark ESPN Phoenix, 6:20 a.m. and join them at 10 p.m. Mountain Time and check out the latest episode of Checkpoint Radio. We've got some really cool opportunities that are going to be coming down the pike because of Checkpoint. And I do want to say that, and this may be a little bit early on in the process to be saying this, but if there are some things that end up happening, that the way that we end up producing content here through Final Encountercast primarily, but also through Limit Break Radio, might get a whole lot easier and might get a whole lot, we're looking at making a talent acquisition that can make a whole lot more time and a whole lot more things happen for Limit Break Radio, for Final Encountercast, and for Checkpoint. So we're waiting on a couple of things that our lawyers tell us that we cannot talk about, but I do want to put it out there right now. I do want to put it out there early, and I do want to let all of you LBR fans know that this opportunity is being provided only because of your support at patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. The only reason that we're able to chase the dream that we're chasing with Checkpoint is because of the support that you've given us over there and the foundation that we've been able to build. What you think that we've been building are some very inane, funny, irreverent podcasts. But what we've actually been doing, what we've actually been building, is we've slowly been building a production company. And what we're finding out is that our production company that we've spent 10 years building has some very real value. And there are people who are looking at it like the value that we see in it, like the value that you see in it. And this is some great stuff. This could help bring Limit Break Radio as a company forward into a whole new era of stuff that we thought was entirely impossible when we started this show, even when we relaunched it 3 years ago. So I know I'm being vague. I know I'm being a little cryptic, but this is my way of saying thank you. This is my way of saying I appreciate so much what you guys have done for us with your financial support, with your PayPal donations, with your Patreon support, that you have given us an opportunity to chase a dream that none of us would have been able to chase, that none of us would have been able to do on our own. None of us come from the video game media world. None of us come from this insider world of like a couple hundred people that have been talking about video games for the better part of 30 years. We've been on the outside looking in. We've been in the trenches slugging it out, and you guys have been there with us as the primary mode of support. And there's no way that I can say thank you than to say that we want to do right by you in everything that we make. So, again, thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for all your support, and just, you know, if you have anything to give, patreon.com/limitbreakradio is the way to do that. If you don't, give us a review on iTunes. Spread the word, spread the love, and tell your friends about Checkpoint. That's going to be it for Limit Break Radio this week. I want to thank my crew. Skuro has been filling in pretty admirably for Kooky.
Surprising.
I know. He did okay. He didn't make a shit all over him, which means that he did a good enough job to not be noticed.
To be fair,
that needs to be praised.
All he did was gave us a couple calls. Kooky usually puts stuff in the chat as well.
That is also true. But anyway, thank you, Skuro, for the work that you've done today. Also, thank you to my crew, Juxta Position, Ascalia Rayumasa, Kalo Landis. I'm an hero. Keep listening. Limit Break Radio is a production of LimitBreakRadio.com and Bender Media Productions. This episode was produced by Aniro Grigori, Juxta Position, and Kooky Persona. Final Fantasy XIV and Eorze are trademarks of Square-Enix. Funding for Limit Break Radio is provided by Miri Kennett, Satori Komeji, Dark Flux, Null Packet, Shira Heartslot, and fellow Limit Break Radio listeners. To support Limit Break Radio, visit patreon.com/limitbreakradio. Opening music in this episode from Daniel Lambie. Listen to Man with the Machine Gun and other great tracks at facebook.com/Daniel Lambie Metal Gamer. Closing music in this episode provided by Husky by the Geek. Listen to this and other great Final Fantasy XIV and video game rock covers and original music at facebook.com/Husky by the Geek.